Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. To get ourselves a treat.
We're back.
We're back.
How does it feel to be back?
It feels like a dream.
Yeah, I know, right?
Feels like a dream.
And for those of you who haven't seen our last episode, our top 10 best of the year and top 5 worst of the year, you need to check that shit out now because that episode was dope.
It's real fucking good.
It was good. I listened to the whole thing. And I rarely do that with this podcast. I know it's weird that I don't listen to my own podcast, but I mean, we experience it.
We're not fans of ourselves.
No, we're not. We hate ourselves, so why do we want to listen to ourselves?
Yeah, exactly.
No, but we do it, talk about it, and then why would we listen to ourselves for another 2.5 hours?
Yeah, do the same spiel.
Do the same spiel. So you know that if I rewatched that whole episode beginning to end, you know it was a good one. Like, I straight up was like, I was in my car and I'm like, should I listen to music? I'm like, nah. Throw that podcast on, dude. It was good. I listened to the whole thing.
That's hype, dude.
Mm-hmm. We were on it. So, a couple things here because of that. We didn't do any, like, trailers or news or anything like that. So we have 2 weeks of stuff piled up.
But we really don't have that much.
But we don't have that much. That's what I was about to say. So, it's January.
Fuck you,
Yay!
It's January to steal from Red Letter Media.
Yeah.
I love that segment, and I wish they'd bring it back.
For those of you who don't know, January is the graveyard month for films. This is the month where studios who have a crap film they just want to throw out and sweep under the rug, they throw it in January because that, statistically, is the time when people go to the movies the least.
Yeah.
So, and also, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Also, this is the month where everything slows down. Like, everything slows down. Not even just movie stuff, but, like, restaurant business. Like, everything in January slows down. I mean, I'm sure you do that.
We gotta wait for taxes, and that's delayed too. So.
Yes, exactly. So, being that it's January,
everything's in stasis.
It is the slowest month of the year for movie news. It is crazy. That's always the case, though. Like, movie news never comes out during January. And, you know what it used to be, too? Was that a couple, like, for, like, a month after Comic-Con, like, there would be, like, really slow news as well, because everything was just released during Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But that's kind of starting to change now, a little bit, you know, because there's kind of more of a news cycle going. You still see a bit of a dip, but not as much as you used to. But January, dude, is still, like, nothing. It's rough. I looked up news, like, I was looking it up every day. I'm like, nothing,
Yeah.
you know.
What it boils down to is, the news is that there is no news.
There is no news.
That's the news.
Well, that's fine. We got some trailers to get through.
We got a lot
list,
of stuff to talk about.
And I'm heated, baby. I'm heated. I'm trying to calm down, just so I can play some Zen mode.
Oh, okay.
She's in love with who I am.
Okay.
Zen mode, you know?
Zen mode.
Yeah, Zeno mode. Okay.
Where do we begin?
Well, we're gonna begin at trailer trash.
Oh, okay.
All right. Piercing. From the director of In the Eyes of My Mother. Or My Eyes of My Mother, or whatever.
What the fuck? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you remember
In the
that?
Eyes of My Mother.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were just making shit up.
No,
All
In
right.
the Eyes of My Mother, yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I know you don't give a shit about this movie. You're like, no, fuck this.
Garbage. Yeah, I'm like, stupid.
There's three movies that came to my mind when I saw this movie, this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Candy, because the roles seem reversed. Audition, because of the surreal element. And Anatomy of Hell, which is a fucked up Euro film, because it seems like it wants to ruin eroticism with disgust.
Uh-huh.
And the verdict is, I would actually see this movie. But I don't want to see this movie. It didn't sell me. But, like, if I heard it was good, I would see this movie.
Okay, I got you. For me, I think this film looks horrendous. I'm being straight up honest with you. I think that not only does the film seem super pretentious, it seems super obvious in its commentary, and it just seems like it offers nothing to the table other than gratuitous shock value that the director is trying to pass off as artsy.
Sure.
Because it's very obvious. Like, he's like, oh, but what if, like sex and violence, like, if you think about it, like, the lines are blurred, like, they're so similar to each other, and, like, the same mechanism in our brain that loves sex is the same one that loves violence. Like, I can just see this guy talk about that.
Well, that's kind of been done before.
That's what I was just about to say. It has been done before.
If people are saying good things about it, that probably means that there's more to it than that.
If people say good things about it. I don't know. I might not see that happening. Overall, like, on Stardust and stuff, for me, like, very rarely did I see, like, even, like, a 3-star. The majority is, like, 1-2 star. But I think a lot of people are just kind of eating out of the director's palm. They're like, oh, I don't like it because it looks weird. It looks strange. And that's what the director wants. No, I don't like it because I don't think it necessarily looks that strange. It's just cliche. And it just seems super obvious. Like, I know exactly what you're trying to say. And it's been said before. It's been done before. Give me a break, kind of thing, you know?
and it's fair. Mm-hmm. It's fair. Like I said, not sold on it yet. So.
It's super gratuitous in its violence. It looks like, but I don't know. Maybe there's a purpose, a deeper meaning that's not as cliche as the one I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm. You know, the one that we're kind of expecting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll keep an open mind.
Yeah, I gave the trailer 1 star. That was my thing. So, yes, horrendous. All right. Let's talk about us. T-Kettle.
Let's talk about us.
So how you been?
Good as fuck, dude.
You're good as fuck?
Good as fuck.
Ooh, okay. How was your New Year, by the way?
It was good. It was good. I had a good time.
It's good.
What about you?
It was pretty good. And just chill.
Chill?
Yeah.
I was at a party, at a house party, and they had bands playing and stuff like that in the basement.
Really?
I didn't see any of them. I mean, I heard the music because I could hear it from upstairs. We were just playing Smash the whole time.
Oh, really? Nice.
It was cool though.
Was there food?
There's pizza.
Oh, okay, that counts as food, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then last night I saw my friend's band play. They just released an album. It was a release show. The band called Iron Mountain. They're like a doom metal band. They were actually really good.
There you go.
So if you like doom metal, check out Iron Mountain.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I played like the Spider-Man game.
You got the Spider-Man game?
No, my friend did, and I hung out with my friend like for New Year's Eve and day. And like, whew, dude, it's so good.
Did you beat it?
I didn't. I barely got a quarter of the way through.
Really?
There's a lot, dude. There's a lot of story there.
My brother said if you play the whole game, just the main story, you could probably beat it in like 15 hours maybe.
Oh, okay.
10, 15.
I mean, I don't know yet, because I barely made it, you know. Yeah, I mean, we chose like a high difficulty too, so I keep dying. You know, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try this high difficulty, and oh gosh, it's a tough one, but it's all good.
That means you'll just have to go over there more often.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so next trailer, Teen Spirit. No, I'm joking.
Us.
Yeah, us.
Okay, I think this movie looks really good.
Okay, so here's the thing. When I saw this trailer, I wasn't really keen on it. Gave it 3 stars. I was like, eh. But, you know, after letting it kind of marinate in my brain, I actually, you know what? I think it actually looks really good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd probably give it a 4 star.
Dang. Mm-hmm. See, yeah, I think it looks really good. I don't like that people are trying to like tie this into
Get Out.
Yeah. Like there's like some sort of extended universe where everything happens in the same universe. Like maybe, but no.
Yeah, no. And if it does, it's probably just like on an Easter egg level.
That would kind of seem like he's riding on the success of Get Out.
Yes. And I don't think Jordan Peele is the kind of dude who would do that.
No, I don't see that either.
He likes original content and stuff like that. You know, he's a huge proponent.
He definitely does, because the whole script thing, like he's, you know, taking in scripts for his.
Yes, he's taking in unsolicited scripts. So, which is pretty cool on his part. Yeah, it looks interesting. It's basically like, it's kind of like a home invasion movie, but with a twist. It looks like, because, you know, like the family who's being terrorized by these home invaders. Mm-hmm. The home invaders are themselves. Are themselves, yeah. It's like doppelgangers. So what's going on here? I've seen a lot of theorizing online and stuff like that, and usually I don't like when that stuff like that happens, but I actually watched one of them, and that's what actually made me like this trailer more, because it seemed a lot deeper than I was giving it credit for.
It seems like each one is like reliving a trauma through themselves, which is kind of cool.
And there's a lot of cool imagery, like with scissors and stuff and shears.
Yep.
And
yeah, he does like a symbolism.
Yeah, he does. Even when Lupita Nyong'o's character is like doing this, standing up, it's like scissors. It looks like.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, wow, I'm like, that's clever. That's clever. So I really wonder what they're gonna do. Again, I did feel like some of the dialogue was a little weird. It's vodka o'clock. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know about that one. That was weird. We'll see. Yeah, and I feel like if people think it's tied into Get Out, like that's kind of an insult to Jordan Peele. It's like, no, he doesn't need to do that. He can just create an original story. And I heard through the grapevine, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that he's not going to necessarily touch on race relations between black and white with this film, but more so like black on black violence in this film, stuff like that. Or, something deeper, but not necessarily the same social commentary as Get Out.
Yeah, that's cool. I dig that.
Yeah, try something new. Because if you made every movie you made about black and white race relations, it would be like, okay, this is starting to get a little old. Like,
Yeah.
But I feel like he's keeping it fresh.
No, for sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to this movie.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It's actually on my honorable mention for our list on anticipated films. Mm-hmm. It looks it looks real good. I like Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke, Black Panther reunion. Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. All right. Teen Spirit.
Teen Spirit.
With Elle Fanning.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
I'm so glad they didn't
put that in.
Yeah.
I as soon as I saw it, saw that title, I'm like, they're going to do that, but they didn't. So that's good.
So, you thought I wasn't going to like it. Is it because it looked like Star is Born?
No, it was just because it kind of looks like a girl, because it looks like Diet Neon Demon. That's what it looks like.
Diet Neon. You know what? Yeah, it's like Kids Bop.
It's like Kids Bop Neon Demon.
Okay,
yeah.
No, I can kind of see that, but no, dude, I like the. There's a ton of artists that are gonna be showing up that I know, and some of them I enjoy.
That's good,
which is cool. Hell yeah! Shout out to Grimes, dude.
Yeah.
My Goth Bae.
Carly Rae Jepsen for the win.
Carly J. Repson.
Carly
Rae Jepsen. Yeah, she's cool too. That's all good. I really like the kind of darker synth pop choices for the song that they played in the trailer. So I don't know.
I do like what I'm seeing. Some of it seems a little bit like Hannah Montana-y.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, especially when she's singing on stage and stuff like that, and the camera's swooping through the crowd. You're like, this is a little Hannah Montana-y, but I feel like there's a deeper story there that we might not be seeing.
Perhaps.
But kind of like a PG kind of deeper story, you know what I mean? But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, obviously the music wasn't Hannah Montana, so I was into it.
Yeah, there's a ton of pop artists that are going to be featured on.
Yeah.
So is Grimes a pop artist or no?
Kind of. Art pop.
Art pop, well that's good. There's a ton of artists being featured, and I think it's actually Elle Fanning performing them. At least at the end of the trailer, it said that. Mm-hmm. So good.
That's also cool.
Good on them. It looks fun. It looks.
I didn't know she could sing though, because I feel like if she could have, why not utilize her earlier?
Mm-hmm. She has too many talents.
Too many talents.
We need to take some away from Elle Fanning.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Dakota Fanning, her sister?
The last movie I saw her in was Night Moves, which was in 2014 or 15.
Yeah.
With Jesse Eisenberg.
Man, what happened to her?
She's
still around?
She kind of died out.
Well, wait, wasn't she in that movie? It was kind of direct to, or limited release about Star Trek. She was writing a Star Trek script or something like that.
What? She was writing one?
Yeah, she wrote a fan one.
Okay.
And she was trying to submit it, and I think it was a true story or something like that. She tried to write this, I don't want to say fan fiction, but she wrote a Star Trek movie or Star Trek episode or something, and she was trying to pitch it to the studio.
I did not hear anything about this, but you just reminded me.
Oh, I gotta look this up now. I'm gonna look this up for you.
She was also in The Alienist, the TNT show.
Oh, I never. Daniel Bruhl. Good guy. Oh, I don't have any internet for some reason. That's weird. I thought I was connected to your Wi-Fi. What's your T-Kettle's Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, why am I not connected, baby?
Are we out?
I don't know.
Blackout? No, we're good.
Well, good thing we don't need this. We don't need the Wi-Fi to use this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My phone's connected, so that's weird. All right, let me look this up for you, just so I can give you a little rundown on this. Just to see what this is.
Technology's failing us, and that's going to come in later.
Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so that movie I'm talking about is called Please Stand By.
Oh,
This one, maybe you've seen
yeah.
it. Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, Please Stand By. I wonder how the reception was on this, baby. Wow, it did not make a lot of money. But, 66% Rotten Tomatoes. It's not bad.
Yeah. Kind of a special interest film.
Yes. Okay, sorry. I don't know why
You're dying?
I'm dying all of a sudden. Like, I wasn't dying on my way here. I'm not sick or anything.
Uh-oh.
There's some dust bunnies in this,
There's not that, I guarantee you.
Is that cat in here?
Nope.
Dang. Alright, yeah, Teen Spirit, look good.
Yeah, look good.
Yeah, it smells like it.
Yeah, it smells like success.
Smells like success. And Teen Spirit. You know, there was a funny story. There were actually 2 other trailers I was going to add to this, but I just got lazy. I forgot. Mm-hmm. But it's fine. We don't have to talk about those.
Okay.
One was the Prodigy trailer, like the second trailer, which, by the way, makes me more excited for this trailer because that trailer had no jump scares. 0. It was just all atmosphere.
I don't even know what that movie is. I can't remember.
Remember the Prodigy movie with the kid? He's like running down the hallway and then like an adult pops up.
Yeah.
The second trailer didn't have a single jump scare.
I feel like that's going to be on your honorable mention.
It is, yes. I'm just spoiling that for you. Also, there was a film called Tate released with Hilary Duff playing Sharon Tate, which is only one, apparently, of the 3 movies being released about Sharon Tate this year.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I know Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's going to touch on it, but apparently there's another one.
Really?
Yeah, and then this one called The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
That's kind of like Greta Gerwig remaking certain women.
Oh, yeah, Little Women?
Or Little Women, sorry, certain women.
Mm-hmm.
No, that movie just got remade last year.
Yeah.
And this is I think it's the 8th adaptation.
Holy crap. But this feels like they're kind of capitalizing on the death of Charles Manson.
Yeah.
You know, of course, they have to, like, capitalize on that death and, like, the victims' families are still alive.
True crime is kind of big right
now.
now.
Yeah, but it's like, man, 3 movies? There's Haunting of Sharon Tate with Hilary Duff, and then Tate, which is, like, I can't remember who stars in that, and then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. And I didn't watch the trailer for this new one, or Haunting of Sharon Tate. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. Apparently, it's kind of controversial, just because of the whole thing, so I don't know. Anyway, The Last Laugh. Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah.
And Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase.
Almost said Channing Tatum.
That would be a weird
movie. A buddy cop comedy with Channing Tatum and Richard Dreyfuss.
It is a Netflix movie.
And it looks like a Netflix film.
It looks like it's got written all over it.
Yeah.
Same old picture quality.
Yeah.
Same old actors that are kind of not in the spotlight anymore.
Dude, let me tell you something about Netflix. And we're going to be talking about Netflix when we talk about recently seen. It's like, I'm a little nervous about Netflix. Because the thing about Netflix is like, you're getting more and more average content. Sometimes you get great content.
Yeah.
You know, like Roma and stuff. But a lot of times you get you're getting so much average content. I'm nervous that the viewer's perception is being skewed toward this average content.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain film we're going to talk about later where people are acting like this film is groundbreaking. And I'm like, no. Why are we accepting this mediocrity as like this amazing... Like, we're talking about it like it's an Avengers film. Like, or like a Star Wars... Like, the hype is insane.
The hype is insane.
And I'm like, I don't understand.
I've heard it everywhere, at work even.
Yes. And we'll talk about that later, but I'm nervous that with Netflix's kind of mediocre films that are just being pumped out into the ether, like, constantly, people are just going to, like, accept mediocre content. And I'm not the first one to say this. I looked up a couple reviews of a certain film we're going to talk about later, and they were saying the same thing, like, why are people starting to accept more and more mediocre films, especially on Netflix?
And then what's going to happen to their great films that come out? Are people just going to think that it's as, like, equal level as these other mediocre movies? Yeah, it's fucked up.
I know. I don't get it, man. It just doesn't... It looks like this... I can't think of any story on the top of my head, but this premise seems like it's been done before. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the style of film...
Funny People, maybe?
Funny People? Yeah, Funny People. What was the one? The Comedian with Robert De Niro? You know? About the comedian trying to regain...
King of Comedy? Or no,
not King of Comedy. It was like The Comedian. It was like a really poorly received movie that came out a couple years ago.
So poorly received, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, Robert De Niro has been in a couple of those lately, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of generic to me.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I mean, it could be funny. There's a couple jokes that made me chuckle because it's about stand-up comedy.
The missionary position.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's the point of the film.
No, it doesn't.
So it's like,
It seems like this film's gonna try and kind of be like this heavy melodrama as well, but I don't know. Maybe the relationship between the two main characters can kind of carry it. You know, hopefully. Chevy Chase, I don't know, has kind of been. I don't even know. You know, I don't even know what he's been lately.
Yeah. He's showing up in, like, you know, TV shows, like, long-running TV shows, like Community.
Apparently he's a very just angry person.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I hear. I heard, and I don't want to spread any false rumors, because they kind of did a documentary about him, where he was basically, like, talking about how he's lost all these jobs and stuff. Because you know that old show Community, right? You know he just walked off. He got pissed and just walked off. That's it. Done. He just... That's it. And then
contracts can't even hold him.
No, that's right. Yeah, he just straight up walked off, and people, and then he left like a really bad voicemail to like the creator of that show, and the creator of that show who also does stand up like played it for a crowd, which is kind of fucked up. And you know, people were like laughing and like saying Chevy Chase is an asshole. So they did a documentary about it, like a internet documentary. I think Vice did it, and it was kind of sad, like what Chevy Chase has become after that and stuff like that. You know, I was just thinking to myself, wow, that's kind of tragic, you know?
He used to kind of be one of the greats.
Yeah. Original SNL alumni, that guy. Season 1. So.
Anyway, I really don't have any interest in seeing this movie. I kind of don't keep an eye out on Netflix films unless...
Same.
Critics are like, hey, get that shit.
Yeah.
Get it.
Get that shit. All right. Next film we're going to talk about, The Drone. Did you see this trailer?
Of course I did. That's what I was referring to with technology fails us. No, that looks like dog shit. I can't even see a world where that's funny. I can't.
What do you think of these films like Rubber and The Drone?
Okay, Rubber...
And stuff like that.
Rubber is an interesting case because if the movie didn't start out with the whole... part where he starts hitting all the chairs and stuff, and he gets out in the monologues about like why do you do all this shit in life? It's pointless. There's no reason for any of this. Why are you watching any movies? There's no reason for it. It's like, okay, that's acceptable. I'll take it.
But this is by the director of Zombievers. Now, I've never seen Zombievers, but I have a friend who saw Zombievers, and he said it was fucking hilarious.
He said it's hilarious?
He said it was hilarious. Because this film is obviously...
It's a joke.
It's a joke, B-movie type thing.
Yeah.
I always thought to myself, like, as a filmmaker myself, as a guy who's aspiring to do greater things, it's always kind of been interesting to me that people will do, like, this B-movie schlocky stuff. Like, they will actually just aspire to do that. Like, I love schlock films, don't get me wrong, and if you want to pay some tribute to it, like kind of Quentin Tarantino does... That's great, but there are people out there who's like, no, I want to make Sharknado. Like, I want to do that.
Yeah, that's
my
end goal.
My end goal is to do those type of films.
Pick up a camera and film whatever, because you can do that.
Yeah, right? Like, I want to do those Roger Corman films, where I'm like, I want to do, like, Alfonso Cuarón films, and, like, Marvel films, or, like, Spielberg films. They're like, no, I want to do Sharknado. You know? And I've always wondered, I'm like, not that I'm saying that they're wrong, but I've always wondered, I'm like, why? You know, I'm like, I'm genuinely curious, like, how come they want to do this?
Perhaps they want to set the bar so low that if they end up succeeding, like...
Maybe, yeah.
That, like, hey...
I mean, who am I to judge? I mean, at least this guy has a couple films out. Zombievers. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like, the bar is low when it comes to, like, B-movies, because there's actually some really
good B-movies. Really good B-movies, which we'll get into in my recently seen. Yeah. And
I mean, just...
This guy, maybe, you think he might be taking... B-movie and taking it the wrong way, like making a movie that's intentionally stupid, like or something like that.
I don't really know what this guy means.
It is intentionally stupid, obviously. The Drone.
No, absolutely.
Like he makes films that are intentionally stupid. But
I think some of the ones that want to take themselves seriously and end up failing miserably turn out to be the best.
The best, yes, exactly.
Like The Room or
yes.
What's the
Troll?
Oh god, it's gonna kill me. Birdemic.
Dude,
that director hates when you diss on that movie. He's like, it was supposed to be serious.
Or Neil Breen. Have you heard of Neil Breen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, they try to be so serious, and that's when the best B movies are made. When you're so self-aware and you know what you're making, those are almost the B movies that go under the rug. They slip under the rug because, okay, the movie sucks, but you know it sucks. You made it suck. It's intentional. So it's like, that doesn't make it good.
But sometimes you get some winners like Black Dynamite.
Yeah, yes.
Where, like, it's almost a deconstruction of what they try to fuck up.
That's true. This kind of just seems like he took a dumb idea and he's like, let's make a movie out of it. You know? Whereas maybe, who knows? I didn't see Zombievers. My friend said it was funny. Maybe it's like that kind of was a commentary. I'm not trying to add like layers and depth to these types of films, but maybe he was saying like this is what the zombie genre has become, you know, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he's just like, I want to make these schlocky, terrible B movie type films on purpose.
Wow, just right off the bat for the trailer, I'm like, this can't be good. As soon as I saw the commercial, like the advertising or whatever, it was like, what, we use technology everywhere, and it literally looked like an ad.
Yeah.
For like Consumers Energy or something like that.
I like the Alien 3 shot, you know, that classic shot where Ripley's like against the wall and the xenomorph is like right next to her face, and she's like, like they were doing that with the drone, where the drone was right here, and she's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Maybe there could be some solid references in there. Who knows? But I was not. And maybe it's because it seems so serious when I was watching it.
Yeah, but maybe
trailer.
Maybe that will be funny though. Maybe that'll add to the comedy.
Yeah, because they can't play out like a funny scene long enough for it to be funny. Maybe that's what it is. And for trailers,
if a movie knows it's bad, and understands that it's bad and acknowledges that it's bad, does it make it good? In my opinion, no. Usually not. You know.
I don't know.
But it depends. I guess maybe it's a case-by-case basis, because Black Dynamite was pretty freaking good.
It is a case-by-case basis.
You know?
I'm never going to say that one type of movie, like even B movies, it has like a certain limit where it can't go any higher than that. Like,
yeah.
It's like, well, it's the highest it could be is an 8 because that's the highest it has been before.
You know
I'm
what,
not going to do that.
You know what people have said about films like this, like The Drone and like Sharknado and Piranha 3D or whatever? They say these films are quote-unquote, and this is not my term, people have said this, critic-proof. He's like, oh, these films are critic-proof because they're so self-referential in knowing what they are that we can't criticize this film because it's all intentional. It's all intentionally bad. So if we say it's bad, it's like, what? Like, we can't, whatever.
No, I can see that, but these movies are also for a specific type of people.
Yes.
Not everyone is going to get on board for that kind of thing.
So do you think these types of films are kind of hard to review? Or do you
hard to review sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard to sometimes figure out what they were doing right, because by saying what they were doing right is what they were doing wrong.
Yeah. It's kind of like a weird, like, topsy-turvy, like, thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's so strange. Yeah. That's crazy.
So basically, I don't know.
Opening night? No,
not a chance.
I don't know. I just want to know one thing. I was talking to this was a different guy, actually. Holy crap! So many people have seen Zombievers. I was talking to a different guy, and he told me that the director was going to make a sequel to Zombievers called Zombies, like bumblebees that turned into zombies. You know, zombies. Whatever happened to that?
Ooh.
Whatever happened to that?
That sounds real dumb.
That's the point.
Like, are you going to make a main character out of one of them? Is it going to be like B-movie, but like...
No. I think it's going to be about
Jerry Seinfeld going to voice the main character.
What are you doing? Stop it!
Every time they sting somebody, they get turned infected.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think these zombie bees...
These
zombie bees would probably just, like, turn people into zombies every time they got stung. Who knows? And then the queen maybe comes... I don't know. Point is, he ended up not making that, and now he's doing the drone instead, apparently. I don't know if that's true. This is just what that one dude told me. Man, but zombies...
Zombumblebees.
Zombumblebees. No, I think zombies would have been more creative. I mean, yeah, these films know they're bad. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, basically, it's personal preference. I mean, if you want to see this type of movie, I haven't been sold. I do enjoy B movies. I do enjoy like.
You enjoy B movies?
Yeah. You're so funny. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I couldn't see this based on the trailer though.
No, I got you.
Couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
You all right there? You just texting away?
No, I'm actually looking up for our list here because I just wanted to get a little more context.
We're done with that stuff, right?
We're done with that stuff,
okay,
baby.
List time?
List time. How many honorable mentions do you have?
I have 2, but okay. So before we get into this, I just want to say one thing. I was wondering why, in comparison to last year, there's just not a lot of stuff on there. And then I realized it's because the festivals aren't done yet. In particular, Sundance isn't done yet, so distributors haven't purchased any movies from there, or like that we know of, and they will probably get picked up for like the last half of the year.
Yeah, well, a lot of the films right now, because obviously our most anticipated films that we're going to talk about probably won't even end up on our top 10 films of 2019 or anything like that, because there's always like those festival films that are like released within the year and stuff like that, and all that stuff. The only films that we really know about are the kind of the bigger films that have been announced already.
Yeah, the bigger ones.
The bigger ones.
Or the ones, in particular, there's one on here that got pushed back. It was supposed to come out last year. It got pushed back to this year.
And some of these, especially one of them on my list, IMDb says it's being released in 2019, but that's not even a definite on some of these. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't even know. It could be 2020 for all we know, you know? But it says 2019.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So, that's what we're going by. I have 20 honorable mentions.
Alright, so if you want to just list off 10, I have 2, so...
Okay, yeah, exactly. Alright. So, first one is Glass.
Okay.
I mean, it's coming out like in a week.
Mm-hmm.
So, or in a couple days from now, actually. So,
there you go.
So, like in a week, whatever. The other one is Under the Silver Lake. David Robert Mitchum's film. He did It Follows.
Okay.
This film seems like a super artsy film. Looks crazy. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the Mr. Rogers biopic, of course, because after a documentary, you always got to do one.
Yeah.
But this one's directed by the director of Can You Ever Forgive Me? And she seems like she knows what she's doing. I mean, that film has been getting a lot of praise.
Oh, and, yeah, the Melissa McCarthy film.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks is freaking, you know.
Oh, okay,
is
that
Rogers.
actually makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Next one is Shazam.
Okay.
I hope it's good. Next one is 1917. It's an original Sam Mendes movie. That's all I know about it. Nothing is known about it, but it takes place during World War I, and it's an original movie by Sam Mendes. Looking forward to it.
That sounds good.
The other one is Chaos Walking, Doug Liman's new film with Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland.
Yep.
Based on a series of books. I love Doug Liman, so there you go. Mm-hmm. Next one was almost on my list until I thought about another one, Toy Story 4.
Okay.
The next one is Aladdin. Next one is Knives Out, which is Rian Johnson's original movie. Nothing is really known about it other than it's an original movie from Rian Johnson, who can create some really good original movies, like with Looper. Mm-hmm. And then my 10th one is It, Chapter 2. I love the first one, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter in that saga, or trilogy, or whatever they're going to do with it.
Let's just make this easy. Two of the ones that you said are both on my list.
Oh, okay.
My honorable mentions. Under the Silver Lake. It's an A24 film, which is a winner for me usually. Mm-hmm. Neo-noir mystery film. Mm-hmm. Andrew Garfield's going to be in it. Yeah, David Robert Mitchell, as you said. Mm-hmm. And many found it polarizing due to the cryptic nature of the script, which sounds right up my alley.
Okay.
And the other one that you mentioned was Knives Out. I'm a sucker for whodunits, and Rian Johnson's doing it. That's cool. And Daniel Craig and Chris Evans is in the lead, so that's awesome as well.
Hell yeah. So you're not anticipating any of the other movies I said?
No, I am. It's just like, I tried to keep it like top of the line or whatever. So
okay.
I don't know.
Oh, what were you saying? These films are not top of the line?
No,
I'm
okay.
I'm just.
Honestly, I was like, there's certain movies that I just feel like it's like siding with Air. Like everyone fucking likes it.
I got you. All right, my last 10 was Dark Phoenix. Yeah, I fucking said it. Sue me.
You're really just hoping for them to go back to like first class and like Days of Future Past, right?
Yeah, pretty much. But this film, and if the movie does suck, you're gonna be like, "Oh, you ate your words, Nico," and be like, "No." That happens all the time. Anticipated films turn out shitty all the time.
Yeah,
it's just it happens. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so shut up. You know who you are. The next one is Lion King, Captain Marvel. Godzilla 2, and the next one is Joker. The only reason I'm sort of anticipating this film is more so out of curiosity and Joaquin Phoenix.
Sure.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on that one yet, but I thought I'd throw that in there out of curiosity. Yeah. Next one is John Wick 3. Mm-hmm. The next one is Spider-Man Far From Home. And then The Prodigy is the next one. It's a horror film, comes out in February. And then Dumbo by Tim Burton. And then this one, you're going to be surprised, is not on my list. Is Star Wars Episode 9.
I am kind of surprised.
Yeah, that one isn't. And you know why? It's because I am anticipating that movie. I am. You know what I'm not anticipating, though? The fucking fan reaction that's inevitably going to happen after that film. It's going to drive me insane.
There is a lot of good... Like, you're thinking ahead. You're thinking ahead. You weren't just thinking about, oh, I'm excited for the movie. You're thinking about what's the backlash as well. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, it's inevitably going to happen, and I'm not looking forward to that, which makes me slightly less excited for the film, and that's super sad. And again, I've said this before, the thing that's ruining Star Wars for people is the fandom, and this is a prime example of that. It's like, because I'm looking forward to this film, but I'm not looking forward to the insane crying, bitching, and whining that even if this film is great, and it quote-unquote fixes The Last Jedi, which that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Because I like The Last Jedi, but if it quote-unquote fixes The Last Jedi or whatever, people are still going to be fucking... That's with every Star Wars film, dude. You always get that backlash, but it's been turned up to 11 in recent years, probably because of social media and the internet.
Yeah.
You know, it's oh god, I'm not looking forward to that aspect of it. But the actual film, I am looking forward to. So
you can't please them all.
Can't please them all, but so I'm not looking forward to that aspect. But I'm looking forward to the film. It's just a shame that took it out of my top 5 because of the fans. Yeah. The fans took it out of my top 5. Thanks, fans!
I get it.
Gosh. Alright,
Is that all of them?
That's all of them, yeah.
Damn, that was 20?
That was 20, babe.
That's a lot of movies.
I did 10, and then in my 10, I just mentioned the 2 you had.
So, yeah. That's...
Alright, go ahead. Okay, what's your number 5? What's your number 5?
My number 5, this might be surprising to you. It's Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Great voice cast, promising 3D visuals. I mean, the textures. Like,
it looks so good. It looks so good.
Josh Cooley is director. He was screenplay and storyboard artist for many Pixar movies. Mm-hmm. The only thing that brings my excitement down is every entry has gotten a little weaker to me personally, and this one especially seems unnecessary. But I still love Toy Story, and I can't lie that I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean that was on my list, but we'll get to the film that took it out in a second. That bumped it off. Yeah, dude, that doesn't surprise me at all. It's friggin' Toy Story, dude, and it looks great.
I guess. I don't know.
No, it looks...
No, you. I thought you just thought of me as somebody who likes, like, gore porn and whatever.
No, of course not. I mean, I know you're partial to, like, kind of obscure type cinema.
Sometimes.
But, yeah. But, I mean, you give every film its due, though. That's what I like about you, you know?
Thank you.
My next film is called The Kid.
Okay.
The Kid. Have you heard of this film?
I definitely have, but remind me.
It's an upcoming indie biographical western directed by Vincent D'Onofrio about Billy the Kid.
Okay.
And the cast is freaking... Vincent D'Onofrio reunites with his Magnificent Seven cast. Like Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke is in it. So those two are in Magnificent Seven, along with Vincent D'Onofrio. Mm-hmm. Dane DeHaan is in it. Alec Baldwin is in it. Or sorry, Adam Baldwin, whatever. Same. It's a Baldwin brother. Yeah, dude.
I mean, that does sound lit. It
does sound lit, right? I'm a huge Western fan. I love Westerns, and this seems like a really cool kind of Western. It's about... it's about Billy the Kid, obviously, one of the most notorious bandits from freaking the Western age. Dane DeHaan plays Billy the Kid, which actually is, like, perfect casting, because Billy the Kid was, like, a scrawny little dude. He was not, like, some big dude, you know what I mean? The story is about a young boy who reaches out to Billy the Kid to help save his kidnapped sister. And that just sounds dope. I'm a sucker for Westerns, and I think this is Vincent D'Onofrio's directorial debut. I could be wrong, he might have done some other stuff. But he's a pretty good actor. Very, like, character actor and very method actor. So I'm really looking forward to his Western, The Kid.
Yeah.
That's just awesome.
Yeah, that does sound really cool. Do you know if it's coming out, like, on, like, any platforms or whatever? Like, any distributing companies have it?
Lionsgate has it.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's... Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say Netflix.
No. No, Lionsgate has it. I think it's wide release it's going to be, and it's May 23rd.
Man, I feel like I'm trashing on Netflix. It's because, like...
Well, I mean...
they put a lot of effort into
They
certain
do.
movies.
They do.
So, like...
And you know what's funny? This is so crazy because there's going to be a certain film on my top 5
Oh, yeah.
that's like...
Yeah,
I'm going to go against everything we just said about Netflix.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, but just to let you know, May 23rd, 2019, The Kid.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I like that. My number 4 is it's John Wick 3, dude. I love John Wick,
so
dude.
Good.
John Wick 2 left on a great note.
It did.
Not only set up the next one, but possibly exposed some world building to expect in the next entry, which is awesome.
Yep.
The John Wick franchise is so successful to me because it never revealed its entire hand when delving into its universe. Mm-hmm. Every time an answer was given to you, like 3 more questions would rise up.
Yeah.
Which was always cool. I'm looking forward to a conclusion, but I also wouldn't be disappointed if it's set up for more than just like the TV series that's supposed to be coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's just been a really stale landscape for like action films to me lately.
Oh, dude, the action film? Like, I'm not talking about fantasy action or like comic book action,
Yeah,
but just
action.
straight action. That film genre is like dead.
So that's why I'm saying like I'm looking forward to this movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of kept it alive. It defibrillated the shit out of it.
It really did. It was really the most creative
That and like
action film.
That and like Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah. That's also keeping it alive. But yeah, like just the normal action film has really kind of unfortunately had like the death kill happen to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. My number 4 should be no surprise to you here. Now, this film, IMDb says it's coming out in 2019.
I swear to God.
I don't know if it's coming out in 2019. What am I say here? Okay, so... But there's no release date.
Oh, okay.
On
it better not be the movie I'm thinking of.
Wikipedia.
I'll lose my shit.
Underwater.
Never mind.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Okay. I was like, I don't think this is. I don't. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think you'd be that upset about me looking forward to Underwater. It says it's being released in 2019. I swear on my life, it better be. It has big actors in it. Kristen Stewart's in it. T.J. Miller's in it. Jessica Henwick is in it. Come on, bro. John Gallagher Jr. is in it.
Okay.
These are big actors. You know, like, this is legit. This is for those of you who don't know, this is Will Eubank's junior film.
Which we just talked about, like, 2 of his movies.
Yeah, Love, and then The Signal, and then this is his 3rd film, so this is his junior film. This is his biggest budget film, being apparently $60 to $80 million is what I've been getting. And so I cannot wait for the visuals this guy can pull off with an $60 to $80 million budget. I mean, it's going to be sick, dude. And the premise is a crew of underwater researchers must scramble to safety after an earthquake devastates their subterranean laboratory. So, I don't know, knowing Will Eubank, especially how much he loves sci-fi, he didn't write the script, but knowing how much he loves sci-fi and he kind of loves art house cinema, I feel like this is going to be a lot deeper. Mm-hmm. Or because this is the first film to really be in the machine. This is a Fox film. 20th Century Fox has this. I hope he doesn't kind of acquiesce to them and just sort of make a simple adventure movie. I hope he doesn't. I hope he sticks with his guns and makes a Will Eubank film, you know, and like really kills it.
Yeah.
You got to admire, I mean, even you who's not a huge fan of his films, you got to admire his like ambition.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just not like a dude who's just trying to make like a film everyone else is
making. Which I've definitely given credit to. I feel like.
For sure. For sure. He's definitely trying to do something different with each of his films. I'm looking forward to it. I hope this film freaking comes out in 2019. And as a matter of fact, there's another guy in here who's an actor in this film. His name is Gunnar Wright. He was the main character in Love. I actually emailed this dude. I asked him about Underwater. I'm like, yo, when's this film being released? Like, is this 2019? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, is this film being released? And of course, before that, I was like, hey, like, I'm a big fan. Like, I love Love. I'm probably that movie's biggest fan because of how obscure it is, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And he just kind of sent me back this really nice. It was very nice, but sounded kind of generic. He's like, hey, Niko, hope you had a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. So glad you caught that. Meaning, because I also told him that his character in Underwater is named Lee. So I'm like, that's a funny Easter egg there. And he's like, so glad you caught that. And yes, it was a nice little nod to Love. All the best. Gunnar Wright. I'm like, that was nice for him to respond. You know?
Didn't answer the question though.
No, he didn't answer the question at all. That's the thing. Is like, I'm like, yo, is that being released? Like, what's going on here? It's like, nope. He just didn't even ask it, didn't even answer it. But it was still nice of him to respond.
Yeah, he didn't need to do that.
Yeah, that was so that's pretty cool. I really do hope it's released in 2019. So.
Maybe he didn't want to answer it because it's not coming out in 2019.
I know, right? Or maybe he just doesn't know.
That's probably true too.
I don't know, man. I hope this film comes out soon.
So, that's your number.
That's my number 4.
Oh shit, dude! I was not ready for this.
I need to know what film you thought I was gonna say. But...
Oh yeah, I'll tell you.
Right.
Because the movie if it was what I thought it was, I would have thrown every single movie off of this list, and it would have been just the only movie standing.
Really?
What movie is it? Come on.
I don't want to say it because
you know me so well.
I think I know what it is, but then I'm gonna spoil my number 2.
Okay.
Or 3. You know.
Okay. Well then we'll let it ride out for a little bit.
Okay.
Number 3. I'm sorry to do this to you. That it's not my number 1. It's Avengers Endgame.
Hey man, it's fine. It's not your number 1.
A lot is riding on the success of this. If it succeeds, it means people, including me, will be with Marvel for the long haul. But if it fails, it means starting the circle all over again. Building a cinematic world up for a big payoff that may never work again.
That's insane.
That is fucking disheartening.
Dude, oh my gosh, the pressure is on.
The pressure is on.
I think even more than Infinity War. The pressure is on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
I have the utmost faith in this movie, though. I have the utmost faith in the Russo brothers since they jumped in the MCU. Has only gotten stronger. The emotional beats are there, better action sequences, and an increase to the stakes.
Yeah, for sure.
So the trailer looks promising, showing the setup but never revealing any big moments past what seems to be the first hour mark.
Yep.
This gives me hope because Marvel trailers have always kind of been what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
The trailer looks really good.
It. And then people were like, "Oh, it didn't show enough." I'm like,
That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah,
that's
like
exactly what most people want.
Yeah, like what the fuck did you want? Like the entire movie?
Yeah,
like,
let me just see the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, let me just see the last.
Throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, just throw that in there. Yeah. See, one thing I will disagree with you on though is like being with Marvel with the long haul. That movie for me was the Avengers. That's when I was with Marvel for the long haul. So I'm a lifelong comic book fan and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's just to me, I heard that once this you wouldn't even call it phase anymore because they technically have phases, but this entire arc.
Yeah.
If they reset it and like switched up the characters.
True.
But had the same characters but switched up the people playing that character.
Yeah.
Fucking lame.
That would be
lame as
That'd
fuck, and I really don't want to sit through that again unless they're going to do something big like this, a grandiose payoff.
Yeah.
That's what I have to look forward to.
100%. I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah. If they do something like that, even I would be pissed. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Literally just going around in circles. I want to see a more threatening. I want to see them unite. Mm-hmm. I want to see them build an army. What the Avengers should be, because the Avengers is not 6 people. It's like fucking a registration.
Yes.
I want to see all of that, and I want to see them fight like Ultimus.
Yes.
Or not Ultimus. What's the Galactus?
Galactus. Oh.
Yeah.
Exactly. That'd be so good. That'd be so good.
I want that so bad.
I would freaking cry. All right. My number 3. Mm-hmm. You're surprised I'm surprised I haven't had like a big budget film on here yet. My number 3 is The Irishman.
Okay.
Martin Scorsese's new film.
Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese. Martin Scorsese, baby. Okay. This film reunites freaking Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. Baby, Joe Pesci came out of retirement for this film.
Yep.
Holy crap. This film has a long production history. But here's the thing, though. This is insane, because we were just, like, bitching about Netflix and how they don't have great stuff. This is a Netflix film. Netflix is distributing this film.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Martin Scorsese's behind the helm, though, so...
Yeah,
you can't go wrong.
Even his worst movies are, like, good.
Yes. What do you think is his worst film?
Shutter Island.
Really? Yeah, I like Shutter Island.
I mean, I like it, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'm trying to think. What do I think is the worst?
There's actually another one, Who's That Knocking at My Door, which is his first feature-length film. That's pretty good, too.
I've never seen it.
Harvey Keitel's in it.
Oh, okay. Cool. You know, that's weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, Shutter Island actually might be the worst, but worst is kind of in quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, I get you. I cannot wait for this film. I want to see, because the crazy production story behind this is because, first of all, this film had a huge budget. I think it was like, with investors and stuff, he got like $140 million. I don't know why studios didn't want this film, first of all. Because this is huge, dude. Freaking Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci all in a film together
And
finally.
Harvey Keitel.
And Harvey Keitel? What's going on here? Like, why doesn't a studio want this film? Point is, no one wanted it. But he got some investors to, I believe, give him like $100 million. But then they backed out, right? Midway through. Mm-hmm. But then Netflix came in, they're like, no, we want that shit. Right? They gave him $140 million, right? Or like an extra $40 million, whatever, to like... Because the budget kept ballooning because of the de-aging effects they're going to do on the 3 characters, which I'll get into in a second. But then, apparently with the de-aging effects and everything, the budget ballooned again to around $170 million. This film cost $170 million. This is a $170 million drama. I'm all for it. Apparently the money is all going into those effects because I think I was watching, actually, Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, the beginning scene with Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer. I was watching an interview with the director, Peyton Reed, talking about that, and he said those are the last effects you get on a film, like right until the deadline, because those effects, they take so long. They're so like minute in their detail, like they're very, very difficult to not only do but just to pull off well. Yeah. So. With a film like a Netflix film that Netflix is behind and not like Disney, that's what I'm nervous about. Is like, because if the story's good enough, I can overlook it, but I really hope that the effects are good enough to not take me out of it. Because if de-aging effects really are like the hardest special effects or visual effects to do, it's like that kind of makes me nervous.
I don't think if they looked that bad, he would even release it. Like, not because like he doesn't really have a say, but like I think that he would fight to push it back. Right. But we would hear about it at least. Like, I didn't want to release this movie. We would hear it in an interview or something like that.
Yeah. And you're right, because I think Martin Scorsese, he's not anti-technology at all. No. You know, he's made a 3D film. He shot digitally before. This film is his second film he's shooting digitally. First one was Hugo. And have you ever seen the visual effects reel for Wolf of Wall Street? How many visual effects are actually in that film?
No.
It is insane, dude. As a matter of fact, I think there were more visual effects shots in Wolf of Wall Street than like a big blockbuster that came out that year. And it was like, what?
I mean, with the length, yeah.
Yeah, right? Like all the landscapes, they changed everything. So he's really pro technology, and I think he can pull it off. I mean, come on.
I think so too.
He said in an interview, he's like, we're kind of doing the Benjamin Button type technology, like that type of thing. And Benjamin Button, from what I recall, looked really good, like with its technology like that. So if they can de-age Pacino, De Niro, and Pesci, like that'd be fucking sick. I'm looking forward to it, dude. I can't wait for this film. And we were just talking about how Netflix releases garbage, right? Yeah. But now this film, I'm looking forward to. It's on my top 5 most anticipated, and it's a friggin' Netflix film. But Netflix is stepping up their game, man. They're trying to get these big-time directors. They got the Coen brothers, Alfonso Cuarón, Martin Scorsese. I mean, if Quentin Tarantino does a Netflix film, it's game over. Then you know it's like, okay. Yeah. Because you know how he is with stuff like
it's not like I don't think that they have good content. It's just they have a lot of mediocre content.
Yeah.
It like outweighs it almost.
Yeah,
so you have to be careful.
And even with these big directors like the Coen brothers, Ballad of Buster Scruggs was kind of mediocre.
I mean, yeah.
So I'm a little nervous about it. I hope it's good. I can't friggin' wait.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think I know what your number 2 was, and I'm thinking it might be my number 2 as well. It might be.
Just
is it Once Upon a Time?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Probably the best ensemble cast this year.
Oh,
I've seen every single Tarantino film, including Four Rooms, which is kind of an underlooked one, and enjoyed them all. I heard it will harken back to his Pulp Fiction structure, focusing on the Manson family murders and an actor and a stunt double trying to break into the film industry. It also doesn't sound like a fictional depiction of Hollywood, since Mike Moe plays Bruce Lee, Damian Lewis plays Steve McQueen, and Margot Robbie plays Sharon Tate. wife of Roman Polanski at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Additionally, Tarantino is famous for his cinematic world and his cinematic world within the cinematic world, meaning he will probably alter like the facts, like he did with like
Inglourious Basterds and stuff like that. That's what I'm expecting. Like, I'm actually expecting him to kind of rewrite.
So
history.
even if you know what happens in the real thing, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Well, that's the thing is like with the ensemble cast and stuff. Do you think? And this is kind of what I'm predicting here is like with the ensemble cast and stuff. I think originally this film was kind of played off as like, oh, this is about just when it was announced. That it was about Charles Manson and the Manson murders, basically. It was his Manson murder, Manson family movie. But then, obviously, as more and more information has come out about it, it almost seems like the Manson family murders are just sort of like in the background. Like it's kind of set during that time.
If I had to take a guess, it would be that is like one side of the picture, and then he's going to build up the whole actor and stunt double thing, and then the two are gonna fucking interweave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they might seem like different, like completely different storylines at first, and then like they might interweave because Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's character are not real. They're fictional characters.
Yes,
they're not based on anybody.
Yes.
So
what's probably going to happen is those characters will probably be the ones to alter history. If I had to guess.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yes, I'm fucking super excited.
I'm super excited. Again, the cast is absolutely amazing. And I'm a little... What's the word? I'm not as huge of a Tarantino fan as, like, everyone else is. I like him and I like his films, but I feel like he does kind of get a little too much praise sometimes. I feel like he can get away with a lot of dumb shit he does just because he's Quentin Tarantino. Uh-huh. But this film, I'm intrigued by the premise. Amazing director. He can obviously pull off like a lot of things. This is really the first time I've like heard a premise that I'm really interested in because Quentin Tarantino loves Hollywood.
Yeah.
And this is really like his first real film about the industry. And this film is like has Oscar written all over it. A freaking movie made about Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino? Come on, cuh.
The thing is, he'll get nominated for stuff because people know that his shit is good, but he will never win. He never wins.
True. Well, didn't he win? What did he win recently? Didn't he win for Django, like for screenplay?
He might have actually.
Yeah, I think he won screenplay for Django.
At the very least, Christoph Waltz won for Best Supporting Actor.
Yes, and Ennio Morricone won for Hateful Eight's score.
Hateful Eight, much deserved.
Much deserved.
Too late.
Yeah, for real.
Not even his best score.
But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, oh, dude, I can't wait for it. This is really the first premise from Tarantino that's actually had me intrigued. Like, when I heard, he wants to make a Western, I'm like, okay. Even though I love Westerns, I'm like, a Tarantino Western? I'm like, because, I like Django, but I don't like it as much as everyone else.
I fucking love Django.
I know you love Django, but I'm just not huge on it like everyone. So I'm like, okay, Hateful Eight, another one. Or it's like, he's going to do a World War II film. I'm like, okay, another one. That's like another World War II film. Like, come on, cut. So this is the first time I'm listening to a premise, and I'm like...
We're definitely singing different tunes about him.
Yes, we are. Again, I think he's a little bit overrated, all I'm saying. But he's a great director, though, I will admit.
I see. I'm sure he might be, but there's no one making movies like him. There's nothing.
He definitely creates his own movie. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think the praise is justified a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And he's never that fucking guy who has to go out and diss these big films or diss these fucking superhero films. He's never that guy. As a matter of fact, he defends those films all the time.
Yes.
And that's what I like about it, man.
Yes. And it's funny because you just brought up Martin Scorsese. If I had to pick two people that love film more than any other like filmmaker, it's those two.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because that's what Tarantino started, was because of his love for it. He's like, I see all this. I think I could do that too. Yeah. Awesome. And I mean, Martin Scorsese has his own film school like classes. And stuff.
Master classes.
Master classes, dude.
No, 100%, dude. That's why I love both these guys. Is because. Again, you never see, like, no offense to Tony Gilroy or, what's his name? Alejandro G. Iñárritu or anything. But, like, when people come out and they say superhero films are cultural genocide or the death of cinema or whatever, you're not... Come on, dude. Like, why? Why are you doing that? Just Quentin Tarantino, one of the best filmmakers of all time, arguably, straight up loves those films.
Yeah.
So if he loves those films, who the hell... Like, why are you right? Like, if you want to share an opinion, that's fine, but don't, like, diss anyone else who likes it.
I bet they don't even like Tarantino films.
Yeah, they probably don't. You know, the funny thing is, though, is that they did a round table or whatever with the Hollywood.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, they were both there in the same room.
Yeah,
I watched that one.
And they seemed like they kind of liked each other, sort of. I don't know, I can't really remember, but anyway.
Maybe they're just being civil. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I think if I just had to, like, project my theories about that relationship, it's probably, like, he actually really does, like, Quentin Tarantino really does like Iñárritu. He admires him, but then Iñárritu in his head is like this Hollywood machine motherfucker. Even though he's not even the Hollywood machine, really. But he's like this mainstream motherfucker, like, you know, because I know how... I don't know him. I don't know him, so I don't want to say I know, but I've heard stories about Iñárritu, how he's kind of a dick who thinks like he's kind of better than everyone else. That's what I heard.
Uh-huh.
Just from people who have walked off the set of The Revenant, you know, because, you know, a lot of people quit that set, right?
Not really.
Yeah, a lot of people. It took 9 months to film that movie, and a lot of people quit. They walked off that set because they just couldn't handle it. Mm. And a lot of people were saying that he was just the worst. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it's both of our number ones, and that, by the way, that was not the movie I was referring to. I was obviously referring to Dune. I would throw every single fucking movie.
Oh yeah, no.
If it was Dune,
well,
but we don't know if it's coming out.
Know.
The thing is, though, this man has released a movie a year for like 7 years straight or whatever.
Yeah.
So the fact that he didn't release anything in 2018 tells me that 2019 is probably his year.
Yeah. That's true, but I mean, don't forget this is a big budget film.
The quality has never dropped for any of his
movies.
No,
it hasn't either. It hasn't. This is a huge, but I think this will probably be more than Blade Runner. In all honesty, like the budget, you know.
Oh yeah, if I had to guess, yeah. So, I can't wait for it.
Yeah, these films take time, so it might be 2020, but we don't know.
So we both know each other's number one. I think mine is The Irishman.
Yep.
Yeah, and yours is
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Our number 3s and 1s flip-flopped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our number 2 stayed the same, though.
Yeah, and that's something?
It was kind of interesting for me. I basically agree with you on everything that you said about Irishman. The only thing is, I really want this to succeed as a crime drama because this could be the last hoorah for all those actors.
That's true. That is true, especially all of them together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, as we were talking about how Robert De Niro, like he didn't have like a ton of like great roles or whatever. He's been kind of like on like a dry spell or whatever stuff. But it's like he really hasn't had any great scripts come his way.
That's true.
I think probably the last one, and this is debatable for some people, is like Silver Linings Playbook.
That was a great film. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I think if you gave him a good script, he'd knock it out of the park. Plus, he's working with Martin Scorsese. Yes. And Martin Scorsese thinks that he is the best actor that he's worked with, I think. That's what I think he said.
Yeah.
Because he's so, like, unpredictable.
Yeah.
And I have the utmost faith in it.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait for it.
Yeah.
And you know what else I can't wait for is Avengers Endgame, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, this film, again, this is the end of Phase 3 of the Marvel things. I know it's, like, the whole arc, like you were just talking about, but technically... You know, it was funny because Phase 1 had 6 films, Phase 2 had 6 films, Phase 3 has had 10 films.
Yep.
That's crazy.
They had the money to just throw out more.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I cannot wait for this film. I mean, what can I say about Avengers Endgame that hasn't already been said? I'm really curious about where they take these characters and whether or not this is going to be the end of some of these characters and how they're going to end some of these characters. What are they going to do? Again...
Definitely don't think that they're going to do the same thing with everyone. I don't think every one of them is going to die.
No. I don't think that either. But how many people are going to come back? How are they going to come back? What's going to happen? Again, this is an unpredictable film, and we just talked about this. But it's like, you can't predict what they're going to do. You just don't know.
The quantum realm, dude.
The quantum realm.
They got to do that.
There's got to be something with that.
Oh, absolutely.
100%. There's no way they would put this much emphasis on the quantum realm and not utilize that in some regard. Yep. Maybe the quantum realm isn't affected by the snap. Who knows? I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for it. And I'm saying this right now. I'm standing up. Okay. I'm standing up.
Okay.
Spread the word. This film has to beat Avatar. I'm sick of Avatar being number 1.
There's no way Avatar can be number 1 the rest of time.
No way. Look, no disrespect to James Cameron, no disrespect to Avatar. But why is that film number 1 highest grossing film of all time? No! Avengers Endgame has got to beat it! Call your friends!
And if you think about it, since this is such a stupid thing to say, but the population always rises, so there's more people that need to buy a ticket.
What the hell?
Let's go, birth rate!
Let's go! It's been on the top for too long! We need to beat it! Star Wars The Force Awakens didn't even beat it! How? What? This is insane. Guys, listen to me. Listen to me right now. We need to beat Avatar, guys. We need to beat it! We need to beat Avatar!
I'm not looking forward to listening to that part of the fucking podcast.
No, but for real,
He's pretty much just making out with the microphone right now.
Guys, get your friends. See it like 10 times. We need to beat Avatar. And don't get me wrong, I think Avatar's an okay film. But $2 billion, guys. $2 billion.
Dude, you know what you just reminded me of right now? Is that Eric Andre interview with
Jeanette McCurdy? Yeah.
Like, I need you to save the shit.
I need you to, I'm really falling on my face here. Like, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, it was good. She's just like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That microphone was saying okay, too.
Yeah, I know. No, but for real,
Go see this movie.
go see this movie, okay? If any film can beat Avatar, it's this film. Okay, because now, even though Infinity War didn't beat Avatar, there's the loose ends that everyone has to know now. So now the people who didn't see it in theaters saw it on Netflix or DVD or whatever, and now they're so curious, they're like, I gotta see this in theaters now. You know? Mm-hmm. So, please, I like you, Avatar, don't get me wrong.
I don't.
But I think it's time. I think it's time that the mantle has been passed.
Yeah.
That someone else passes you, okay? Watch Avatar 2 come out in 2020 and be, like, amazing. Although, who knows, that might get delayed until 2045. It's been delayed for so long.
They cryogenically freeze James Cameron.
Yeah. Oh, also, there's also a couple other movies tied for number 1 for me.
Really? No fucking way.
Wait, dude. Look, there they are, right there. See, I'm not gonna see that. You see them right there below.
Yeah. Okay. What are they?
Dora the Explorer and Playmobil the movie.
Okay.
Yep.
Sick City, dude.
Sick City. That's a joke. In case you guys didn't realize that, that's a joke. Okay, I'm not actually looking forward to Dora the Explorer, Playmobil the movie. But those are real films actually coming out. I looked it up. It's crazy. I know. It's just strange.
So,
if Michael Bay was still attached to Dora the Explorer, I kind of would be looking forward to it just out of sheer morbid curiosity.
there's going to be a lot of empty space on this episode.
Yes, there is. There is a lot of empty space. Oh, but here we go.
Get your work cut out for you in the editing.
I need to pause this and take a break.
No problem.
Because, I got some stuff to say about these two films.
Yeah.
I got some stuff to say. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
It was 1 second for you guys, but for us it was 4 hours.
That is not true.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
We would lose all of our momentum.
That's right. All right. Let's talk about the first film. I moved this film actually up on my list because I have a lot to say about it. The first one is Turd Box. I'm trademarking that. No, it's Bird Box.
There's a lot of trademarking goes on with you.
Yes, that's right. Seriously though, Bird Box, I do not get it, man. Okay, first of all, and you remember when we reviewed the trailer for this film on the podcast, I gave it its due. I gave it its credit. I said this looks interesting. This could be good. It has a great screenwriter, Eric Heiser, who wrote Lights Out and Arrival. 2 films I really enjoy. And he wrote and directed Hours, another film I really enjoy. The problem with this film, though, is not the writing. It's the directing, dude. The directing. I don't think the actors kind of knew what to do with this dialogue, and the director did not help him with it. Because some of the dialogue is really clever, but it's just delivered in such an awkward way. For those of you who don't know, like the one person who doesn't know, Bird Box is a film starring Sandra Bullock, Sarah Paulson, Lil Ray Howard, John Malkovich, Machine Gun Kelly is in it for some reason. Rosa Salazar is in it. Okay, all-star cast, whatever. It's basically A Quiet Place, but with your eyes. Okay, so you can't see the freaking demon or spirit or whatever, because if you see it, it causes you to commit suicide because what you see is either way too beautiful, you just want to end your life because nothing else can comprehend it, or what you see is so scary and so frightening, it's your worst fear, it makes you want to kill yourself. You know why it's either one of those two things, Tyler?
Why is that?
Because it doesn't explain it. It doesn't explain anything about the actual spirits or demons or whatever they are. Nothing is explained, which is fine if you want to go that route, but this film really needed something else to explain why these things are what they are, what happened.
Like the plants are killing us. Like that.
Like the happening sort of thing?
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, here's the crazy thing. Because you never see the demons or spirits or whatever. You never see what these things look like, okay? But it's heavily implied that they're invisible, okay? And when they're walking around, guess what happens? The plants and the vegetation start to blow like wind. Okay. Just like The Happening. This film is a better version of The Happening, but a worse version of A Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. Okay, so first off, a lot of what this film is getting a lot of praise for its performances. I disagree. I think the acting is so stilted in this movie, and I honestly think that Sandra Bullock, although she's a great actress, I think that for this role, she was kind of a bitch. She was a very, very unlikable character. I did not enjoy her in this role at all. And honestly, at the very, very end of the film, they try and do something to like redeem her character, but it's too little too late at that point. You're like, I really don't like this character. She sucks.
Yeah.
You know? And it's crazy. My mouth dropped, dude, with and I know this film is based on a book, and the book came out before A Quiet Place. So maybe A Quiet Place took inspiration from the book, Bird Box. I don't know. Point is, I'm just going to act like this in sequential order. I'm just going to act like this is all sequential, okay? This film ripped off A Quiet Place in ways that had my mouth drop. I'm like, really? I'm like, you're really going to do this? You're really going to do a scene where a woman is pregnant.
Oh, no.
And giving birth during this time when these monsters are all around them and they can't open their eyes. The baby can't open their eyes because, I don't know, I guess babies have the function to kill themselves, which they don't, which whatever. Uh-huh. You're going to do this. But wait, Tyler, wait. It's 2 pregnant women this time.
You serious?
It's 2 pregnant women. That's how it's different. No, cut!
Dude, whoever's delivering is getting cucked.
Oh, they did. Dude, okay, first of all, the acting is so stilted, and the character interactions don't make sense. Okay, when they all get in this house, because everyone is trying to take refuge away from these things, you get these characters and these interactions that are so weird. They're just odd. It's like people would not act like this. People are all of a sudden, like a cop comes in, played by Rosa Salazar. She comes in. She meets Machine Gun Kelly, a drug dealer, who's, by the way, just one freaking line explains that he's a drug dealer, and it's a super awkward interaction. She's like, hey, I'm a cop. Did you not hear it? I'm like, what are you doing? They decide that it's the end of the world, so they're going to have sex, and they're going to couple up.
What the fuck?
Like a day after, right? Uh-huh. A day after. They're like, well, the world's ending. We might as well have sex. And then they team up, and I'm going to spoil this, but don't watch this film, Tyler. Don't watch it.
Oh, okay. No.
They team up, and then they steal the car just to run away from the rest of the group with no explanation. Why'd they steal the car? Why did they run away? Why? What, Tyler? It's stupid, okay? And I wouldn't be so hard on this film if it wasn't for the fucking strange cultural phenomenon it's become. I cannot go onto the internet and not see something about Bird Box. It's everywhere, Tyler. People are talking about this film like it's Star Wars or like it's Avengers. It's not that good, okay? At least to me.
Are they saying it's, like, good?
People are saying it's, like, amazing. People are acting like it's the most original film in years.
Oh.
I know that there are the memes about it, too, which are ironic, but there are a lot of unironic memes about it.
Yeah, well...
The Bird Box Challenge? Are you serious?
I guess I've never... One, I have not seen that much on it.
This
movie... people that I've heard from, they're like, it's okay.
This movie is a straight-to-DVD film, straight-to-DVD version of A Quiet Place. Okay? Uh-huh. It's not that great. John Malkovich has a truly awkward performance, and there's a lot of times when characters would go against what their character was already established with. You understand?
Yeah.
So John Malkovich he's the uptight guy. He's the guy, we have to survive. We can't let anybody in. Okay, we have to be by the books. We have to be alert at all times. Right? He's that guy.
Okay.
And then they go to a grocery store to get supplies. He gets drunk. He just straight up gets wasted. He's like, where's the booze? And then he just, like, gets super wasted. I'm like, this goes against his character. This guy was the strong guy, the guy who was like, no, we need to be alert at all times and be by the books. And now he's getting drunk. That goes against his character. And then secondly, these characters, because it's so awkward the way they're introduced and everything, and just the way they play off each other, it just wouldn't work that way in real life if this was actually happening. People like Lil Ray Howard, who is a grocery clerk in the film, all of a sudden he has all the answers. It's like when they're all in the house, he's like, I understand what these things are, because if you read like Confucius's book about the human condition, you would realize, and then he knows all this stuff about Confucius, and like he's all of a sudden like this poet, like this philosopher.
Hey, whoa,
and stuff like that.
Whoa.
What?
I work in retail, and I think I know a little bit about movies.
Dude, trust me, not like this.
Not like this?
Not like this. Okay?
Oh, damn, dude.
This guy, it was just so forced is the thing. Okay? That this guy all of a sudden has all the answers to everything. He's a grocery clerk. And it would have worked. It's not that he's in retail. It's the fact that he's portraying this character as like this weird, stuttery, goofy guy that just, he just goes against the character. It goes against the type. Which is fine in some cases, but trust me, you have to watch it to understand.
Oh, he pops Matterall. What can I say?
Nah, dude.
Nah.
Nah, dude.
He's focused.
Nah, dude. It's just... The thing with Lil Ray Howard, too, is, like, much respect to him and everything, but he can't be serious. I don't think. I can't take his... Something about his voice I can't take seriously. It's like, I'm not sure if what he's supposed to be doing is the comic relief or not. You know? It's like, are you the comic relief? Is this supposed to be funny? I'm not sure, because he's saying stuff that can be interpreted as funny, but I don't think it's funny. I'm confused. This film, dude, I do not understand the cultural phenomenon it's become.
Yeah, okay.
The stilted acting, bad cinematography, awkward character interactions. What is there about this film that is driving people so insane about it? They're like, it's creative.
Because everyone's talking about it. That's what it is.
Yeah, right? But they're like, oh, it's creative. What? This has been done so many times. This is literally The Happening mixed with A Quiet Place. Literally. Like, verbatim almost. You know? And did you know that the writer of Bird Box is actually from Ferndale?
Really?
Yeah, so he's from Michigan.
Sick, dude.
So that's cool. So good on him.
It's
I'm
unfortunate that he's representing with a poor movie.
Yeah, I know. I heard the book is actually much better because it explains things in a lot more detailed fashion than the movie. So I'm not dissing on him or anything. It's just this film... I understand how hard it is to make movies, and I don't like to diss on them. But this film failed on all cylinders for me, man. I just don't understand what people are saying. And this is what I was talking about, dude. 45 million people watched this on Netflix. I think it's their most viewed thing ever. Or something like that. Or it broke some type of record. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm nervous about. This film is mediocre at best, in my opinion. And I know it's all subjective and stuff, but are we going to start accepting mediocrity? Are we just going to start accepting this as the new norm? Like, are we going to start accepting this type of stuff and be like, oh, yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. It was on Netflix, you know, my expectations were low, like, already because it's a Netflix film. So then all of a sudden, when it slightly exceeds those, you act like it's the best film ever. You know, I'm nervous about that.
Yeah. No, I get you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
It's unfortunate you didn't like it.
Yes, it is. And no disrespect to Susan Baer, the director, or Sandra Bullock. Someone posted this on the internet. They're like, Sandra Bullock has done way too much to be recognized as the woman from Bird Box. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's true, but no one's going to recognize her as the woman from Bird Box. This woman's an Oscar-winning actress, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she's obviously, like, people are acting like they're just discovering her now. I'm like, what are you talking about? This woman's an Oscar-winning actress. She's amazing. Okay?
Yeah, she's been in movies for a fucking long time. Mm-hmm. It's like the 80s.
Yes, I'm telling you, I feel like if this film just had better direction, a good actor's director to really hone in on the characters and the nuance of their performance, I think that would have been better. Because now you have all these good actors, John Malkovich, Sarah Paulson, Sandra Bullock, but the problem is they're not given enough direction. So they're all kind of playing, like, one of them, they're all just going in their own direction, is what I'm trying to say. There's no cohesion between any of it. And I feel like if you had a better director, you could have added more cohesion to the story and to the characters to make you care about them. I did not care about them. You know? And Trevante Rhodes is probably, again, a freaking, again, dude, this guy needs to get a better freaking agent. Okay, because he was the best part in Predator, and now he's the best part in this film. This guy has great charisma, and he's good at what he does. He just needs to be in better films. You know?
It'll probably happen for him.
I hope so. He was in Moonlight, so there you go. That's one thing. But, man, like, he needs to be the lead in something, okay? Because this supporting thing, he's just stealing the show, which is great. But he needs to be in better movies, man. If he wants to be a supporting actor, that's fine. But be in a better movie. Like, man, fire your agent, Travante. You're amazing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, dude. Anyway, this film is a 2 out of 5 for me, man.
2 out of 5, which is bad because you said it doesn't work on any cylinders or whatever like that, and it's like you gave it a 2. It's like, oh, I was expecting a 1.
Honestly, I did give it a 1 for a little bit there.
What brought it up?
Can I be honest with you? What brought it up was because I know how hard films are to make, and I just felt really, really bad because they didn't try to make a bad film. You know what I mean? It's not like they didn't like the material and they just kind of shit it out and they're like, oh, whatever. Like, it's not like Slender Man where they basically just made a film just for a paycheck.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think they loved the material and they tried to do it well. They tried to do it well. It just failed. So it's another thing, like last time I said, it's a big swing and a miss thing. I think that's why I gave it the extra star. There's also one moment at the very end I did kind of appreciate. I'm like, that was a cool angle. That was a cool angle. So that one moment. Because I was sitting at a 1 star for this on my Stardust. I'm not even lying. Mm-hmm. I sat at a 1 star for like 20 minutes. I gave it a 1 star. I even posted it. And I'm like, what can bring it up to a 2 star? Because I hate giving movies 1 star. I'm like, what can I bring this up? And then I thought about that moment. And I'm like, okay, boom, 2 stars.
All right.
And I didn't want to come... Sorry to interrupt you. I didn't want to come into the film hating on it because of the weird cultural phenomenon. I didn't want to be that guy who goes against the grain.
Oh, you like me with A Star Is Born.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be you. You know, I'm just... I didn't want to be that guy who's like, oh, it's popular, so I have a chip on my shoulder going into the film. No. I didn't want to be that guy. It's just I saw the film, open-minded. You can go back to a couple episodes whenever we talked about the trailer. I was looking forward to it. I gave the trailer 4 stars. I'm like, this movie looks good. Like, it looks like it has potential. Mm-hmm. And especially with the screenwriter. Nope. It didn't work for me.
And this is not the end of your rant. This is just part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2. Whole nother story.
My God. Okay.
And I don't even know this story, so I'm interested to see what it's going to be.
Okay, dude. Okay. Look. It's high school drama bullshit, first of all, right out the gate.
Okay.
Okay, it's fucking ridiculous. Okay, everyone involved is above this shit. It's fucking stupid. Okay, but first of all, I saw the film Revenge. This movie has been on my... Even the last episode, it was on my list that I didn't see, but I wanted to see. I've been wanting to see Revenge for a long time because this film has been getting praise. So, I rented it. I watched it. I really enjoyed it, surprisingly. Uh-huh. I was kind of ready to really not enjoy this film because just on paper, this film does not seem like something I was into, okay? You know, this revenge movie that's super gory and super bloody, kind of sexualized. I'm like, nah, I'm not into that. But then when I was watching it, I realized something. This film is a clear homage to old 70s B-movie grindhouse films. Whereas something like Unsane, I was like, this is also a homage to B-movie grindhouse films, but kind of in a subtle way. This one, full-blown, dude.
Is this more like Barbarella?
This is like Barbarella, I Spit on Your Grave type grindhouse films.
Okay.
This is a straight-up, in-your-face B-movie grindhouse film. 100%. 100%. Okay, there's no hiding it with this film. And this film takes that and puts it in the forefront. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If that's what you're going to do, if that's what you're going for, guess what? You did it really well. This is a good grindhouse film. I'm not going to lie. It can be a paint-by-numbers revenge plot, but with a film like Revenge, and with a film called Revenge, that's what you expect.
Yeah.
You expect revenge to happen. You expect revenge to be the motivation of the film. And that's what it was. You got what you came for. The bad guys get their comeuppance, the good guy wins. Is that a spoiler? Not really, because that's the staple of the genre. You know?
Okay.
And I really enjoyed the film. A lot of the film's choices are in relation to what it's trying to pay tribute to. I'm a sucker for tribute cinema. You know that about me.
Sure.
I love tribute cinema. Even when films aren't great, I'm like, okay, it's not great, but it's a cool homage to this. You know? Mm-hmm. It's a cool homage to that. I love that type of stuff. I really do. And when I saw the film, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. You know? And I think that's kind of what took hold over me. And I'm like, this was a great example of paying tribute to those old type of 70s grindhouse films. You know? Super bloody. Dude, bloodiest movie I've ever seen. Ever.
This movie?
This movie. Bloodiest movie I've ever seen.
Are you kidding me?
No. It's the bloodiest movie I've ever seen. I mean, you've seen some fucked up shit. So
yeah,
maybe not for you, but for me, disgusting, dude. Holy crap, it's gross. But again, guess what? Grindhouse film. That's what happens in grindhouse films. Grindhouse films are bloody. They're sexualized. They're shitty like that, but in a good way, in an endearing way. And that's what this film is. All right, this film is getting praised, too. Now, again, trademarking this shit, femsploitation. That's what this film is, okay? I'm pretty sure someone else has already come up with that, but I'm really proud that I didn't know it, because I came up with that.
Sure.
Femsploitation. That's what this film is. It's the same thing as blaxploitation, mechsploitation. Is it the best representation of the race or the sex? Probably not, because it's an exploitation film.
A lot of tations over here.
Yes, it's an exploitation film. That's what it is, okay? And I love it. I really liked this film. It can get a little, what's the word? Up front in its message. You know, this film does have a message. It's kind of surface level, but, you know, it's very it tries to be pro-women. It's made by a woman director, actually. And she, there's kind of, it's more so like a couple lines at the end that, you know, that where she says something and I'm like, okay, that was a bit on the nose. It's like, we get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but going back to the film, because I want to talk about the actual film first, the style is great. There's a lot of vibrant colors that kind of really, they're super oversaturated and kind of uncomfortable to look at, but in a good, like, intentional way. A lot of bright colors, a lot of interesting tones and hues throughout the film. A lot of cool juxtaposition that happens throughout the film when someone is, like, tripping and then they see, like, these images and stuff. I won't spoil it for you, but it's really cool. There is some deeper symbolism. I think this film is very surface level in terms of, like, its revenge plot. Because a lot of revenge films are very surface level, you know? Yeah. Even something like The Revenant, which is a great film, it's kind of a surface level film. Dude gets his son killed. Dude tries to kill the guy who kills his son. That's the plot, dude. You know? So, that's kind of what this film is, okay? Mm-hmm. A girl gets raped, and then she takes out...
Oh, yeah, so I spit on your grave. Yeah, I see where you're...
Yeah, I spit on your grave, right? Girl gets raped, boom. She tries to kill the people who did it. Anyway... there's a lot of cool, like, music choices and a lot of cool atmosphere that happens throughout the film. There's a lot of, like, really gross close-ups and really gross sounds and gross images that play, but it's with intent, though. And it's supposed to make you feel gross. Like, when something awful is happening to the main character, it cuts to this guy eating, right? And it's a super, like, extreme close-up on his mouth, and it's just... Like, it's messed up and it's disgusting, but that's the intent. That's the point. You're supposed to feel disgusted. You're not supposed to sympathize with the rapists. Now, I know what you're thinking, T-Kettle.
Yeah, okay.
I liked this film. You liked this film, Niko. You gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, I did. Why are you so upset? I'll tell you why I'm upset. Okay? I post my reaction. This has been on my list for a long time, right? I post the Stardust reaction. I'm like, you know what? I liked it. Boom. 4. It's a good homage to exploitation films. 4 stars out of 5, right? This dude comes on to my reaction.
Oh, here we go.
He comes on to my reaction. Okay? And he wants to start shit.
Okay.
He straight up wants to start shit. Now, this guy, straight out the gate, he has good intentions. He seems like a nice guy. But his points didn't make sense, and we were very civil at the start, okay?
Okay.
We were civil at the start.
Are you just going to read the whole thing?
I'll paraphrase some of it for you.
Okay.
Because some of it's kind of long. He's like, I guess I just don't understand why anyone would want to pay homage to an exploitation movie about the rape of a woman when people bitched about the original exploitation movies because women were being brutally raped and victimized. I've never heard someone complain about grindhouse films. What are you talking about? Okay, but I'll get to that in a second. He's like, and look at this point he makes here. I'm sorry. If you're listening to this, this is the dumbest point I've ever heard. And I'm sorry, But the word revenge in the title of a movie does not tell me that a woman is going to be sexually exploited by the director. I sure don't remember seeing that in, let's say, Revenge of the Pink Panther.
What?
What? Okay, when I said in my review that the title is called Revenge, so you get what you came for, I didn't mean I got the sexual assault I came for. I meant I got the revenge I came for, because the movie's called Revenge, and I was expecting a revenge movie. I wasn't expecting a rape movie. That's not what I came there for. That's not what that statement meant, bro. What are you talking? Come on, cut. Like, I know, right? It's like, wow, with a title like Revenge, I was expecting the sexual assault, and bro, I got that shit. I got what I came for. No, that's not what I meant. What I meant was, with a title like Revenge, I expected a revenge plot where the bad guys get their comeuppance. And guess what? That's what I got. That's what I meant, right? Anyway, this is my reply, okay? Revenge films are a genre. And in revenge films, there is always a catalyst for the main character to go on the quest for revenge, i.e. someone kills their son, the Revenant. Someone kills their dog, John Wick. The mob kills their entire family, the Punisher. Someone gets cheated on, Nocturnal Animals. Or, unfortunately, someone gets raped, Wind River, Revenge. Now, that doesn't mean the film or anyone who watches it condones rape in the same way people who watch the Punisher films condone murder. Now, I didn't know, quote-unquote, rape revenge was a subgenre on its own, but revenge films are a genre, and when a film is called Revenge, you expect the bad guys to get their comeuppance, aka revenge. Now, I'm usually not a fan of gore or violence in film, but this film set out to do exactly what it wanted to do, which was to pay tribute to old grindhouse exploitation films, and I'm a sucker for tribute films, like I just told you. Mm-hmm. This film is more superficial than people are giving it credit for. It's not a manifesto on the right and wrongs of humanity. It's a simple revenge movie where the bad guys lose and the good guy gets revenge, right? This dude comes back.
I would have just stopped talking. If I was on the other end of it, I'd be like, I lost.
He took 24 hours to reply to me, bro, so I'm like, boom, right? Simple, right? Like, I said my piece, I'm done, okay? He said, I understand your point, but my point is you can make a movie where the bad guys lose, but you can also do it without having 46 ass shots of the heroine. The entire objectification of women by men is basically why she is getting revenge. So why is the director, a female, objectifying the woman throughout the film instead of portraying her as the hero she should be?
Okay.
Before
you go, let me just say this. Why is this guy attacking you of all people?
I don't fucking know.
This movie has gotten a lot of good praise. Why you?
Yeah.
So many. It doesn't seem like you said anything that like should have upset him.
I know. I do not understand why. I don't even follow this guy. I know about this guy, which we'll get into in a second, but I don't even follow him. Okay? And then he's like, why are they objectifying the women? And I said, again, the reason those butt shots are there is because the film is a tribute to old exploitation films. Look at the poster for I Spit on Your Grave. Those are the types of films she's paying tribute to. And in all honesty, whether if I personally agree with it or not, many women view that sort of stuff as sexual empowerment and progress, that she's owning her body and taking back control of it. I'm just confused with the agenda you think the director has, because I've seen propaganda films before. Films with a clear agenda and glorifying a type of lifestyle. This is not one of those films. You may think its motives are misguided, but to say it isn't a great example of tribute cinema is just not true. Also, the director doesn't own... I skipped something he said where she has to be held accountable. I'm like, also, the director doesn't have to be accountable for anything. She made a B-movie grindhouse action film, not a weird propaganda film that portrays rapists as heroes.
Yeah, no.
You know? And
you shut this guy down real good.
Here's the thing. Okay, I know about this guy for one reason. Okay, I don't even follow him. I got a call from my friend once, who's also on Stardust. He's like, dude, I don't know if this guy is like saying that I tried to attack him, because he posted a review of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, gave it 1 star, and said that it glorifies bullying, and that blah, 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 blah. You know, the whole Rudolph controversy thing. He's a part of that, right?
Okay.
That's how I know about this guy. This is so high school bullshit, but he's like, so I basically told him, and I said this, I'm like, I'm not trying to diss your character, dude, at all, but it's hard for me to take anything you say seriously. Now, this was just petty. I was just being petty at this point. And I'm like, it's hard for me to take anything you say seriously when you tried to politicize Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. A cute and innocent stop-motion film about persevering through bullying.
That just doesn't make any sense to me about what he said. Or, like, the whole controversy of the bullying thing. Glorifying it? No, it's just saying that it happens.
It's just saying that it happens, and guess what? Rudolph perseveres through the bullying.
Yes.
Are you supposed to saying that anyone, like, you can't have Spider-Man, you can't have Charlie Brown because those characters are bullied? No, the whole point is that you're supposed to show them persevering through the bullying, bro. And then anyway, I said that about the Rudolph thing, and he's like, you got some little chip on your shoulder about a review I did, and now you're trolling me. Now I get it. I'm trolling you.
You came out of your way to...
You fucking came on my reaction, dude. If anything, you're trolling me. And I told him that. I'm like, I was just sitting back having a good time. I reviewed a film that has been on my to-see list for months now. And you're telling me that I'm trolling you? Months after you made this Rudolph thing? About a different film? Are you that delusional?
That's so fucked up, dude.
That's so dumb. This guy thinks I'm trolling him when he came out of his way to go on my reaction and instigate this whole thing. And I told him, I'm like, we were having a civil discussion, first of all. Maybe I kind of elevated it with the petty thing about I'm not going to take what you say seriously because of the Rudolph comment. Maybe. But you can't take civil discourse and then just pass it off as trolling. You know who does that? Losers do that. Who don't have anything to come back at you with. That's who does that. Oh, you're just trolling. Motherfucker, you came onto my shit and started this shit. You came onto my reaction. You came onto my shit and now you're calling me the troll? I don't even follow you, dude. I don't even know. What are you talking about?
Dude, there's just not enough drama in his real life, so he's got to bring it to you.
I mean, like, this is just freaking ridiculous, bro. It's just ridiculous. And I know I sound like I have a chip on my shoulder now because I don't like being called a troll. If I have a problem with you, I'm upfront about it. This guy's basically implying that I was being passive-aggressive to him because of an old review he did months ago. So I posted this review to what? Get back at him because he didn't like revenge?
Yeah, like it was bait for him.
Like it was bait for him? Are you that delusional, bro? Are you serious?
It's so funny, dude.
It is. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, bro. This guy's calling me the troll when he went out of his way to basically go onto my reaction and then start this whole shit.
Yeah, that's fucking childish, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Did you waka flocka block him?
Waka flocka block him, maybe. I should, in all honesty, but I mean, I'm not a huge fan of blocking people, especially just when we have disagreements about things. I even told him, I'm like, you can't just take a civil disagreement and call it trolling.
Well, okay, if he does this to you again, I feel like you should.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You don't need that following around you every time.
No, I don't. Again, I don't even follow him.
Yeah.
I don't follow him.
Oh, but he's gonna follow you. Let me tell you.
Yeah, right. And one thing is that I did look at his.
What's his favorite movies list?
His favorite movies list is okay. He has South Park.
What?
Mean Girls, Lord of the Rings.
But what? Mean Girls.
Mean Girls is great, but
wait,
I don't
bullying?
know about right bullying. What the fuck?
What?
You're what?
This fucking dude!
Forrest Gump, The Avengers, Westworld, Wonder Woman, Up, The Sixth Sense, American Horror Story, and Harry Potter.
Wow. South Park?
South Park.
You're telling me that they've done nothing wrong?
Yeah, you're telling me South Park? Have you seen some of the shit South Park has done?
Have you seen the new shit?
No, I haven't.
It's gotten crazy. I've heard about it. I haven't watched it. They want to get canceled so bad. They keep like hashtagging it after like.
Really?
Dude, they're doing fucked up shit.
Really?
Like there's like this like commentary piece or whatever that we're like kind of used to like school shootings, and so like characters will have like hear like gunshots in the school, and they'll just go back to their conversations. Like, what the fuck?
Damn, that's fucked up. And yet you're gonna fucking tell me, South Park fan, that revenge is too far.
Are you fucking joking?
Why
would you put that there? That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
South Park?
Wow, dude.
No.
For real. Like,
wow. Like,
yeah, I know, I get it. Oh, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, he seems like a nice dude with, like, good intentions. And I get his intentions.
Misguided.
They're just misguided, okay? I get it. No one wants to objectify women. No one wants to see a woman get raped. The same way, I don't want to see someone's family get killed. I don't want to see dogs die in films. I don't want to see Leonardo DiCaprio's son get killed. I don't want to see that stuff. But there needs to be a catalyst for the revenge to take place.
And that kind of thing happens. It's like overcoming that stuff.
Yes, and someone else on here brought up a good point. She's like, in the real world, unfortunately, a lot of these people get away with this type of shit. They get away with sexual assault.
Yeah.
This is almost like a catharsis for them. Now, that's a deeper discussion where I kind of agree and kind of don't, but, like, I get her point, though. It's like the bad guys get their comeuppance, and that does not happen in the real world a lot.
Yeah.
You know? And she brought up the point, she's like, if a person was sexually assaulted, they could watch this film and kind of feel that catharsis, like, yes, those guys finally got what they deserve, you know, sort of thing, which I think it just feels more violence, but that's a whole nother discussion. My point is like, this film, obviously, if it had any agenda, it was a pro-woman agenda.
Yeah.
So I do not understand where this guy is coming from. Again, I understand what he's saying. You don't want to see that stuff. You don't like objectifying women. My least favorite film of all time is Spring Breakers. You know why? Because that film had an agenda that it was trying to glorify that stuff. It was trying to glorify this message that the world is nothing but sex, and that's the way it should be, right? This film, not at all. You know? If this film had that agenda, then the bad guys would have won. But guess what? They didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why he came after me.
That would have been a really fucking disgusting. Like, if they ended up winning, that would be just like...
It would be disgusting.
I mean...
Then I would have given this film 1 star if they won.
That movie would have been like a neo-realism movie or whatever. Like, a kind of fucked up version of it.
Yeah. If
taking place in a fantasy world.
Right.
Wow.
If the rapists won this film, I would have given this film 1 star. Because... I'm not condoning the rapists. You're not meant to sympathize with them. You're meant to hate them. Mm-hmm. Point is, Revenge, good film. You should see it. It's a great homage to B-movie grindhouse exploitation films.
Fine.
There you go.
No, I don't want to talk about the next movie.
It's femsploitation.
I don't want to talk about the next movie.
What's the next movie, T-Kettle?
It's a movie that I already saw. I rewatched it.
All right, what up? What up?
It's Nocturnal Animals. Oh, no. Okay, let me explain this movie real quick. It's about a woman, Amy Adams, that receives a book from her ex-husband, Jake Gyllenhaal. She reads it to escape her reality, her cheating husband, her job she settled for. The story within the story is a man about... he's traveling with his wife and daughter, and when they get harassed by a car full of manic hooligans. Mm-hmm. And that's all I wanted to say about the movie, because if you haven't seen this movie, I think you should go into it not knowing anything. Half this film is a nerve-wracking story, harnessing all the tension of a fictional story story should have, and the other half is a spoiled brat who thinks a paper cut is a catastrophe. Mm-hmm. Its world is shallow, cold, and lacks any sentiment, which is a reason for Susan to pick up the book. I totally get that, and it's something that I can relate to about like films and stuff. Every visual element enhances the symbolism and mirroring of reality with parallel shots and set pieces acknowledging the fictional world. The sound transitions from the book to consciousness are a frightening force, almost demanding that you jump right back into the book. It's such a fucking disturbing world that like I never wanted to leave the book, and every time it came back, I was like, please just go right back to it. Just jump right back into it. Mm-hmm. Cinematically, this film made some very risky choices, like making the reality segment so boring and unlikable that it. But it functions so well to tell the story, and just as risky, the story within the story is pretty bare bones. But combining the two enhance each other to like greater heights. Like Mm-hmm. Y'all right there?
Mm-hmm. I'm just pissed.
Yeah, I understand. Mm-hmm. You know what? So I'm just gonna say what the negatives of this film are, because the movie I really like, but there's a lot of people that actually like.
Yeah, they really movie. Don't like. I like it though. I really like this film. I remember Brian showed it to me.
Brian mentioned. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. He showed it to me, and I really enjoyed it. It's a good revenge movie. It's what it is. It literally spells it out.
It literally spells it out.
Literally, yeah.
I think I liked this movie more the first time. I'm being honest. I still really like the movie. I don't know. Didn't hold up as much. So here's the negatives. The editing is tight and quick in reality, not allowing a display of strong performances. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Gyllenhaal, and Michael Shannon are all great though. Like Amy Adams, kind of a waste, kind of a wash, especially her. Amy Adams' role wasn't designed to have her shine, which is unfortunate because she's a good actress and it puts an A-lister to waste. Another bold choice that didn't pay off is you watch Adams take her glasses off for 50% of her screen time.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just every time she would cut back to reality, it's just her taking off her fucking glasses. If you remember that.
I do, yeah.
Overall, I really like this movie. I really don't want to talk about it all that much just because
No, I got you.
the thing is, like, you really have to, like, kind of dig for your own conclusion for this movie. It can be kind of cut and dry just for symbolism and all that shit just for the sake of the story, not for, like, any thematic reason. But still, I think this is it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Real good movie.
That's good, man.
You have a lot of movies to talk about.
I do, yeah. The next one I'll talk about is Peter Jackson's documentary. I got to see this on the 27th. It was a Fathom event. It was only in theaters for like 2 days.
Yep, 2 days. 17th to 27th.
That's right. And it's called They Shall Not Grow Old. It's a documentary about World War I where Peter Jackson took the old footage from the Historical Film Society in, I think, Great Britain. And used technology to remaster it. He fixed the frame rate. He colorized it. He added sound and Foley to it. He made it 3D. He basically just the whole nine. He put the whole nine into this. And let me tell you something. This is funny. They don't know this, but I told you. This movie was completely sold out, almost, right?
Yeah.
100%. I got there really early, and it was cool. So anyway, people just started filtering in. Anyway, it ended up being completely sold out, except for one seat. And guess what? That one seat was the one right next to me. And I was like, Tyler, this, like, that was a sign.
Reserved.
It was reserved for you.
Okay.
Wait.
You know how I said that I couldn't do it because of the whole work thing?
Of work, yeah.
That was kind of a lie.
You son of a bitch.
The thing is, they had me fuck up my work schedule really bad, and I was going to bed every time that I came home. I was going on.
Well, you're just tired then.
20 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
or 20 hours without sleep. I'm like, I need to fucking go to sleep.
No, dude, I totally get it, bro. The experience was kind of bad because I actually kind of was starting to get sick, and like with so many, because it was very claustrophobic. You know, I'm claustrophobic, so like people were really next to me. I'm glad I had that one seat next to me, man, because I was like open because I was starting to get a little anxious, and also the girl next to me, super prime, just one thing. So that helped.
Okay.
Anyway, another thing too, I'm going to get to the movie in a second, but like people were filtering in like 30 minutes into the film. Like I understand that it's like a 1 day, 2 day only thing, but I feel like if I was 30 minutes late for a movie, I would just get my money back. I'd be like, look, I can't. I'm late. Anyway, people were still, and then you go through that awkward moment because there's no reserved seating in AMC 30. So they go through that awkward moment where they like look up and they're like, you know, they're with like 4 people. They're like, and they're like looking around. They're like, oh, where do I go?
If you're that late, guess what? You're in the front.
You're in the front. And that's the thing.
Nerd.
And then 4 people came up to like the row beneath me at the very end, and they're like, "Hey, can this whole row like scooch down a little bit so we can all sit together?"
No, fuck you.
It's like that's the thing.
Sorry.
If the movie starts, you're planted. You have no right
to make people move.
To make people move. Like you have no right to go up to someone and say, "Hey, can you move?" when the movie starts. It's a total curb moment I just had in my head. I'm like, you have no right to ask someone to move when you're 30 minutes late. When you're 30 minutes late and you're asking a whole row of people to move, you just no, dude, you can't do that. Anyway, the film itself is really, really good, and it's really touching because one thing I liked about it is because when you see this 100-year-old footage in black and white in its original form, there's a disconnect there between you and the event. You know, there's a disconnect there.
Sure.
When they colorize it, add sound to it, you know, there's a lot of voiceover from actual soldiers who are in World War I, like archived interviews. It removes that disconnect. So when you see these characters dying and you see their corpses, those are real people. And you feel that. And it's like heart-wrenching, dude. It's really sad. And it made me uncomfortable, obviously, because you're seeing these are real people with real lives. This ain't movie magic.
Yeah.
This is real. And I felt super sad, and it was just really, really it was just really, really sad. And but there are some moments of humor in the film too. There is some levity, and I really appreciate the fact that Peter Jackson said this too. He said he didn't want to take a look at it. He didn't want to portray the Germans as the bad guys or the Brits or the French as the good guys. He just wanted to show war and like its outcome and what war does basically. But even then, it's not even that like propaganda-esque. He just wants to show you like a blank slate. He's like, this is what happened. Come to your own conclusions, right? And he said that in an interview, which I'll get to in a second. But the film really does dive into this war in a way you've never seen before. And it is touching. And again, it's one of my favorites of the year of 2018. And it was a great film. And one cool thing is that after the credits, there was a 30-minute special that only Fathom people get.
Oh.
Where you saw, there was a whole 30-minute making of documentary attached to it, where Peter Jackson basically just told you how he made it. And that was also extremely fascinating. And a lot of people left before that happened, but a lot of people stayed. And after that 30-minute segment was over, man, thunderous applause. Thunderous applause, which was great. I was like, this is cool. Yeah, it was a good time. Very expensive ticket because of the Fathom. Fathom is very expensive.
Oh, and yeah, I've had my fair share of Fathom events.
Yeah, Fathom.
Some ranging all the way up to like $20.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Yeah, this was a $16 ticket for me because, again, it's a Fathom event and it's 3D, so you get those two upcharges. Yeah, it was expensive, but you know what? It was worth it because you can't put a price on these people who sacrifice themselves for their country. You just for the betterment of mankind. Like you just can't put a price on that, you know?
Sure.
So I'm glad I saw it, and it was a fantastic movie, fantastic documentary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm really upset that I didn't get to see it. I really wanted to.
Yeah.
I was literally like falling asleep on the way to my house.
Hey man, I get it, man. I totally get it.
You know what it was? Actually, like I went to go stop and get McDonald's before I came home, just something quick, and I was like, I had a line. I was about to fall asleep like in the middle of the drive-through.
No, I got you.
It was rough.
I got you. I was at McDonald's the other day. Guess what happened?
Okay.
I had a coupon for a free French fry.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, hey, I have the free French fry with the quarter pounder. Can I do that? And she's like, sure. Just pull up. I'm like, okay, cool. She scans it. She gives me the receipt. Looking at the receipt, it's $10. I'm like, that's weird. Huh? I'm like, how is that $10? I get the food. She gave me 3 French fries, 3 medium fries because it said free. She thought I said 3, so she gave me 3 fries.
The fuck?
One of the fries was free.
Did you eat them all?
Yeah, I did. Of course, baby. I actually gave 1 fry to my friend who was with me because I was like, $10. Because she's like, do you want to add nuggets, 4-piece nugget for $1? And I'm like, yeah. So, but then at $10, I'm like, $10, like a quarter pounder and a 4-piece nugget for $1 more should not be $10. But then I got the food, 3 fries, and I'm like, my friend was like, do you want to go back? And I'm like, no. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. It was worth it because those fries were fresh, bro. They were piping hot. It was good.
That must be nice.
It was nice.
So, we do have a couple movies that we want to talk about. The same movie. How many other movies do you have that aren't those 2 movies?
3 films.
3 more films?
3 more. I can get a quick one out the way if you want. A really quick one.
Yeah, hit that one.
I watched a documentary on Hulu called The Keepers of Magic. It's a cinematography documentary. If you are interested in cinematography or even directing, I highly recommend you watch this film. It talks to some of the best cinematographers ever, like Roger Deakins, and it talks about Conrad Hall and Caleb Deschanel and like all that stuff. And I'm trying to remember Gordon Willis. Thank you. That's who it was. Gordon Willis, who did The Godfather. Mm-hmm. He talks about like their mentality when approaching these films and all of that. And if you're interested in cinematography, this is a 100% must-view experience for you. Also, if you're into filmmaking like myself, super fun to watch. Great documentary.
Where'd you watch it?
Hulu. I said it's Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
I do not have it anymore.
Oh, dang.
Rip
the dream.
Okay. So I'd probably have to check that out then. Yeah. So the next movie that I saw, I don't even know why I was like, let me watch this. It's I Heart Huckabees.
Oh, nice, with David O. Russell.
David O. Russell, said to be his worst film. I agree.
Oh, really?
I agree. And I consider myself to be a fan of his, so that was kind of upsetting. I could not tell you what this movie's about. All I know is that the main character's having like an existential crisis. And he works for this corporation that's shitty, aka Huckabees.
Yeah.
It's a fucking wreck. Characters are
Really?
shallow and flat. It's got this like misplaced psychedelic style that's half-assed and pointless. Humor comes from the superficiality of characters. It's exhausting trying to throw every single thing at the wall with nothing sticking. It's literally trying to accomplish everything, and sometimes that just ends up being nothing.
Is this his first film? I Heart Huckabees?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen the clip? I think this was I Heart Huckabees. Is Lily Tomlin in this film?
Yes.
You ever see the clip, the behind-the-scenes clip, where David O. Russell freaks out?
About what?
About Lily Tomlin. He has a whole director freak out. You've never seen it?
No.
Oh, dude, I gotta show you this. I gotta show you
What is
this.
he freaking out about?
Oh, Lily Tomlin, like, is kind of, like, going against him, like, they're just not working together well, and he just starts destroying the set.
I don't think he was established enough to do that. No, that was a bad decision.
But, I mean, he's made some great stuff, but...
Let me tell you the positive, and these positives are very kind of insignificant in the grand scheme of things. I'm not going to go too deep into this movie because I really can't. It's not worth it. The acting is great.
Okay.
I mean, you know, like most of the actors, right? It's like
Jason Schwartzman,
Dustin Hoffman, Mark Wahlberg, just a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
Naomi Watts. The film is never dull because of this.
Really?
These actors three-dimensionalize characters that don't deserve it at all.
Really?
Not at all.
Damn.
One scene was actually comprehensible with a clear two-sided debate, and it was delightful. It was this like dinner table scene. And that was probably the best scene in the entire movie. So one scene, and it wasn't boring. It was not boring, but you couldn't understand what the fuck was going on. So the movie still ends up being like a 4 for me.
No, I got you.
And Nocturnal Animals, I'd give that a high 8.
Okay.
It's just
Oh, yeah, I forgot to rate these. They Shall Not Grow Old, obviously 5 out of 5. Keepers of Magic, 5 out of 5, too. I mean, there's nothing bad about it.
It's right up your alley.
It's right up my alley. Okay, which one do you want to talk about next? We've both seen these films.
Let's do Leave No Trace.
Leave No Trace. This was also on my list of films I haven't seen in 2018, but I really wanted to see.
Yep.
And I'm speaking for myself, but I'm sure I'm speaking for you too. This film ended up 100% on my list of best 2018 films. 100%.
I haven't put it on there yet, I don't think, but if I had to, it would have been like 12 or 13.
This would have been like my number 3, dude. I kind of like this almost as much as Roma. To be real.
Wow.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was a great film.
So good.
I really don't have too much to say about it, though.
It's very simple, but it's like subtle, though.
It's very minimal, dude.
It's very minimal. And we saw the PG rating because just looking at like the small clips I have seen from the film, I saw like one tiny clip of it, of when, you know, some people came to like, what's the word? I'm trying not to spoil it. Some people came to like claim some characters or whatever and like take them to a different thing. I was like, ooh, this can go one or two ways. Like this film, like is this film kind of gritty or is this film something different? And luckily, this film actually wasn't gritty. I was expecting this film to be like rated R. I was expecting this film to kind of be something different, and I was pleasantly surprised.
No, this movie's wholesome as fuck.
It's wholesome. People act like real world people. People
in
act like
a
people.
way, it kind of feels like very optimistic to have all these friendly faces with no ulterior motives, asking for nothing in return. Like, it's like for every single person, that's kind of interesting.
It is interesting.
Even the people like.
But I feel like it might it can kind of be a foil to Ben Foster's character when like he's surrounded by all this positivity, but he just can't see it.
He can't see it, and he doesn't reciprocate it very well.
No, he doesn't. No.
Which is kind of unfortunate.
It's because he's like a veteran with PTSD, so.
Yeah. So it seems like you don't really want to talk about like the premise of the movie. Is you trying to?
Well, I went in there so cold that I feel like that would probably be the best way to do it. You know. I don't know, but I mean, we can talk about like the premise. It's about like a father and daughter. Father is a veteran again with PTSD, and they're basically homeless. They live in the woods. They do get money, and they're not like heathens. They're not like Neanderthals who don't understand.
No, this is a choice.
Yeah, this is a choice for them. And the daughter does have some social interactions. She doesn't have any social issues, really. Until one day something happens when they might have to try and adapt to the real world again. And some of them take it better than others.
Yeah.
You know, some of them take to it much
faster. And that kind of thing is probably the best thing about the movie. Every single movie most movies have commentary of this caliber. This movie has a ton of it. Mm-hmm. But one thing that it does so well is that it takes something that can be perceived as positive or negative and kind of unbiasedly like just kind of shows it, and it's like, well, maybe you would see something differently if you were in this scenario or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to be very cryptic about it.
Yeah, me too. But overall, I liked the symbolism too, like you said, with the film, especially in its like production design too.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of like pictures and like elements there that are kind of reminiscent of what he knows, and then where he's thrown into is like almost like trying to demolish and decimate what he knows.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because we all want to feel closer to like nature and stuff like that, but like we tear it down like all the time and destroy it.
I just want to point out real quick, Bird Box, Revenge, and Leave No Trace all have women directors. Women directors are killing it, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're killing it.
Even though
I don't like Bird Box, like women directors this year especially have been killing it.
There's a lot of really good lists on Letterboxd of like women directed films, and there's there's a shit ton, and they're all fucking good movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them are good movies.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, brother. So yeah, this movie's it's very wholesome. It's very intelligent. Some of it just kind of feels like classic Hollywood in that regard.
Yeah.
I gotta bring the negative for me.
All right, what's the negative? I gotta bring the negative.
It's just it's such a not glamorous presentation. The film making it is very simplistic, making some of these more static. There's like a more static gaps here that it just feels so tedious.
I get you. There's like not a lot of camera movement, not a lot of style. I totally get that. Not at all. I think for me, it kind of served the story though.
It does in a way.
You know,
it does.
But I get where you're coming from. It could have used a little bit more pizzazz. I got you.
Just in certain areas. There's like not as much commentary as like other areas.
I got you. I totally get that. Again, I'm not as harping on that too much, but I did cry at the end of this film. It was an emotional journey for me.
I witnessed it.
Yes, you did.
It was beautiful. I've seen you cry so many times this past year.
Have you?
So many. I need you to see me to cry at least once. I got a movie that we're gonna watch soon. We'll both be in tears. We'll both be hugging on each other and stuff.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Fantastic. I gave it 5 out of 5.
I would give it a high 8.
Nice. Okay. Not bad at all.
Not bad.
Okay, now we'll talk about Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. Bandersnatch. So, this is a film that you've also probably heard about. Not as much as Bird Box. But Bandersnatch is Black Mirror's new film about a kid who wants to make a choose-your-own-adventure game based on a choose-your-own-adventure book. It takes place in the 80s. But here's the kicker. It's a choose-your-own-adventure movie.
Yeah, so you get to choose small choices like what cereal you want to eat, what music you want to listen to like really big ones that like change the whole dynamic of the story.
Yeah. Apparently the film has 5 different endings. I got 2 on my playthrough. Mm-hmm. How many did you get? 1?
I might have gotten 1. I've seen a bunch of like the more minuscule ones.
Yeah, well there are like segments that end, but I'm talking like the full story, like real endings. Like, because there are segments in there where and I kind of like it because the movie talks about the illusion of free will, and like and it's kind of super meta in that regard because you feel like you're making choices for this character, but the movie is directing you where to go.
It is directing you, and that's like the free will aspect is like not just about the character, but it's about the viewer as well.
Yeah, and it can kind of get annoying because sometimes you go on these long tangents that basically just bring you all the way back. You know, like it goes on this long tangent just to end. Mm-hmm. And it could be just like a punchline in some regards too, and then just brings you all the way back to the choice where you did make the wrong decision. So obviously you choose the other decision. So it is kind of directing you where to go. But
it's a fun experience. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it was a fun
cool.
experience, a very cool experience.
And and there's a cool rewatch value to it. A lot of people are asking, is this the future of cinema, Tyler? No, it's not.
No.
First of all, this has been done before with other projects, even with films and stuff like that. It's been done before. Maybe not to this extent, but there have been like choose your own adventure films. Obviously, choose your own adventure.
There's
games.
limitations to it too.
Oh yeah,
because like you really can't do this in a movie theater
no,
experience.
You can't.
Otherwise, like every ending would have to be really good, and if you made some wrong choices and you're like not satisfied with what you saw, people would be asking for their money back.
Yeah, and even the whole choose your own adventure thing, or choose your own ending, or alternative endings kind of gimmick, that's been done before. I mean, Will Castle did it with Mr. Sardonicus. And he basically had the gimmick where the serial killer, Mr. Sardonicus, would go out, kill a bunch of people, and then at the very end of the movie, Will Castle would appear on screen and be like, all right, we're going to tally it up. Put up your cards with thumbs up if you want him to live, or thumbs down if you want him to die. So you get to choose like the ending of the character.
Outcome.
And apparently, like a movie theater attendee or a movie theater employee would come into the room and tally them all up and then give the right ending, like if they choose him to live or die. There's been some speculation, though, if there really was an ending where he lived. You know, a lot of people think that was just kind of fake, and that was just sort of a gimmick, and that he always just died in the end. And they never really did an alternative ending, but that's debatable. Also, something like Clue had, like, alternate endings.
Yeah,
three endings. Yeah.
Yep.
So,
that's pretty cool. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
There's...
Because Clue, it makes sense to do that because it's based on a board game where there's all these different outcomes that can happen.
Yeah, and there's only really one of them, in my opinion, that actually functions like really well. The rest are...
I can't really remember. It's been years since I've seen it.
I've seen that movie a bunch. I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, it's a totally underrated film.
Like I said, I'm a sucker for whodunit movies.
Oh, yeah. It's a totally underrated film, and it's freaking hilarious.
It is very funny.
It's so funny.
See, for me, this whole experience is kind of just a normal day at the office because I have seen so many of this type of thing in visual novels. Yeah, and I thought that if this took off, I'm like, maybe I can start recommending them to people because they're way better than this kind of stuff. But it's still a cool experience that I've never seen in film.
Yeah.
And I've been wondering like when they were going to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take all that much to just add a little bit of film a couple more different sequences.
Right. Apparently, people who have like Apple TV and Chromecast were having some trouble with the technology.
Very big trouble with me on my PS4.
Oh, really?
Trouble.
I figured. I watched on my laptop, and it was smooth sailing for me. And it was cool how seamless it was. Like, you never went to like a loading screen or anything like that. It was really cool how seamless it was. It was cool how meta it got, and the film's like deeper level of like who's in control and like stuff like that. And there's a really cool segment where you can almost tell the character the truth of what's happening. You know? It's like, he's like, show me a sign, who's doing this to me? And you can actually kind of tell the character, like, yeah, this is what's happening. And then, but that whole segment, though, just kind of leads to, like, one big joke. And then, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of funny.
You know what was kind of didn't really make sense to me is that you have all these endings, right? And, like, some of them don't even acknowledge certain other characters. Like, if you were like me... and you chose at the beginning, the very, very first big choice that you get is like, do you want to go with this company or not?
Right.
Did you choose yes?
I did choose yes.
Okay, so I chose yes as well. It went back, and then both the characters involved in that scenario, both were like, yeah, we feel like we've had conversations. Like the characters had set their consciousness back in time when you redacted.
That's
the choice.
true. Yeah, that's
now,
true.
That's fine and all, but it feels a little too early for that because now, at the very end of certain ones, Colin wasn't even involved in it.
That's
true. The fact that just kind of led to nowhere.
There are some hopes. I think that was obviously just an establishment that you can make a wrong choice and kind of like how the film will redirect you is kind of just like because almost everyone will obviously choose yes in that situation, but obviously that's just a dead end. So then it'll take you back. But yeah, you're right, because the character almost acknowledges that he was taken back in that scenario, but then it's never really shown.
And that was fine if he thought that, but like also Colin was like, it didn't go anywhere with his character.
Right. Yeah. And again, I hear there's a ton of different ways you can do it. Obviously, we haven't experienced everything you can do with that film.
And I mean, I don't know if I really want to, only because navigating the menu navigation is really annoying with it. Like I said, every time I would finish something, it wouldn't go back to the last thread.
Yeah.
It would go back to a randomized one, and that was really frustrating because I never got to finish all the options for certain other plot lines. That was frustrating. And then also, there's really no way to fast forward efficiently. So if I really wanted to go through it again on more than like right away, I would have to sit through the whole thing again, which kind of also sucks.
Right.
You all right there?
No, yeah, sorry, I'm just checking. Just updating myself. My friend just texted me to hang out, and I'm like, I don't know.
With all this negativity that I'm saying, it's like, I still enjoyed it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think it needs work. But it's a nice first step.
It's a cool innovation. Obviously, it's cool that Black Mirror did it, too. I feel like if anyone was going to do it, it would be Black Mirror.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great show. So.
I still need to finish all the episodes.
It's just, they're so fucking dreary, man. They end on such a gloomy note.
Not everyone.
There are some that end on a happy note, but apparently, this is from an article I just read, the next season's going to have more optimistic episodes, apparently, according to the creator.
Okay. I mean...
What's wrong with that?
I mean, I get it. It's just like that's not what it is.
Right.
It's supposed to show like the human nature versus technology and why we don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And that usually has to involve some sort of like pessimism.
Like I get that, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to be. There are times when I'm like, am I in a Black Mirror mood? And I'm like, I don't feel like getting depressed right now.
Exactly. Like you have to be in the mood for it. It's something that you're gonna want to turn on when you're done with It's a Wonderful Life.
But when you're in the machine though, and your money depends on ratings and stuff, it's kind of a practical move. Because I even told my friend who's never seen it, I'm like, yeah, but just be prepared to get depressed like every episode. And he's like, I don't want to fucking.
I don't think the tone of it is gonna necessarily deter people from watching it. I mean, people kind of are on board, have been on board for a while.
Right, but
I've actually been watching it before they even transitioned to Netflix. I was watching when it was just BBC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Hipster over here.
Yeah, fucking hipster. Just joking.
No, but it's it's cool. I'd give it a low 7.
I gave it what did I give it? 4 out of 5. I'd give it.
King of the low 7.
King of the low 7. That's you, baby. No, actually, I think I gave it 5 out of 5 when I first saw it because it was just a cool thing. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I gave the technology 5 out of 5, but now with like just as a story, I can definitely see the holes in it. So I'd probably bring it down to like a 4 out of 5. But I did give it 5 out of 5 because I remember being like super excited about the technology.
Yeah. I was too. I won't even lie.
Yeah, and it's cool, but it's very circumstantial. You can't do that with like every film.
You really can't.
Yeah, with Black Mirror, it makes sense because it's about that sort of thing, about technology and all that stuff.
Because writers sometimes have one thing and they're like, I'm set on this. This is the way that it should have ended. And in some regard, it kind of feels lazy if you had just a multitude of endings.
Yeah.
It's like you're not passionate about one specific one, so you just throw just a bunch of them.
Yeah,
and I hope that it sticks with a viewer.
For sure. All right. That's all. That's all for me. That's it.
I feel like it was a long episode.
Yeah, man.
Pretty long. But it was quality.
It was quality.
It was like following up after Infinity War with like Ant-Man
and the Wasp.
Yeah, that's what it was like.
Yeah, pretty good, but not.
Yeah.
I get you. So anything else you got to say, Tyler?
I do have something I gotta say. I feel the need. I feel the need for